They're confident with the prodigy in their roster. In the gold lane with D, will they be able to clinch a playoff spot? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, it is a Rebellion Esports.
They need this win. They desperately need this win if they want to make it to playoffs. But let's see the opening that they have in store for us.
In Kadir we trust.
In Kadir we trust. So a lot of parallels have been drawn from Auditizi to Kadir. I think it's an Indonesian comedian, but he has the same kind of way that he talks, etc. And that's what they refer to Auditizi to this season, Kadir. So in Kadir we trust means we're placing our trust to Sir Auditizi.
On the other side, another blue stands in their way. Will they be able to make the blue bulls blue? Ladies and gentlemen, it is the White Tigers, Evos Glory.
One more match is all it takes. Amongst all the doubt, amongst all the hate, this team has risen from the ashes and made themselves known to everyone. Imagine that, going on a lose streak, several matches in a row, and now it only takes one more match. But they have to overthrow the rage and the might of the Blue Bulls.
It definitely feels like Evo's Glory. If we take a look at the entire season, it feels like it's their story. It feels like it's their protagonist era. Starting the season with -4 with their previous lineup, and then when this lineup got deployed, instant success with Coach Stratic, as I like to call him, but you know his real name is Strategy, and Caleb, and Rebellion, also with Chico and Vivi.
It's gonna be an
Wait,
interesting.
what about the Marshal?
Oh, Mr. Danang!
Yep.
I can't believe I forgot.
Dan Ang?
That was disrespectful by me. I've got to apologize.
Say it again then. Say it
Mr.
twice.
Danang.
Danang.
It's Dan Ang.
Danang.
Like the last airbender, Dan Ang.
Shout out Leo.
Okay. But let's take a look at the head-to-head between both of these teams, because now we've seen them perform for several weeks straight. Let's talk about their weaknesses. What do they need to improve?
It's kind of tough for both these teams because it's like they have a similar play style. Both Rebellion and Evos, they can play the pickoff game with Dreams and Auditizi. They can play wonderful team fight compositions as well. For the most part, they've both been able to find success through those, either team fighting or picking their opponents off. So their main weakness for both these teams, which is very similar, is that late game macro. Evo's Glory, when they get taken to deep waters in the later stage of the game, their macro, it seems like they can't develop, they can't utilize the force errors as much as other teams in the top echelon, upper echelon of MPL Indonesia Season 13. But we'll get to that in the Keys to Victory, presented by Samsung Galaxy S24 for Evo's Glory. Number one, don't ego draft. They have a tendency to ego draft. Up against a lot of teams that you would usually see respect for. Up against RRQ, they didn't ban the Claude. It ended up with a game win for RRQ. Up against just recently, Aura, both Kabuki and Yaoi got their heroes, so they need to respect Rebellion's power heroes. Number two, play with a proactive playstyle, not reactive, and Brands get space. Evos gets playoffs. I love that line. Shoutouts to Mr. Dika backstage, but play with proactiveness. That's something that Evos Glory need to play with. They've been able to find so much success through the proactive maneuvers around the map in the early game. But when they are reactive, it feels a bit more 50-50 because they have to wait for Brands to get to a certain power spike before they make crazy proactive plays, and by that time it could be too late, especially up against the Blue Bulls who charge all the way from the early game. And that's why they need to commit to one gameplay. It's either pickoff or team fight, mainly in the draft itself, because we have seen Rebellion pull off some nasty team fight compositions with the Roger, the Florid, and then picking up an Edith or Yu Zhang to just force the enemy team to fight. You either fight or you lose out the objective, and it's all about that early game decision making where they can force these fights out from their opponents that makes them so strong. Number two, time to unleash the pocket or cheese picks. A lot of criticism has been sent to RBL's way in the early weeks of Season 13 because it just felt like you're not in a desperate spot yet. You're still looking for points. Why go for the Hanzo? Why go for these crazy picks? Even the Terizla, But now is the time. If you want to get a win, if you want to shock your opponent, throw a curveball, desperate times call for desperate measures. They need 2 wins to make it a playoffs.
And that's just it, right? I mean, if we take a look at this poster even, Clash or Unite, we talked about this a little bit before as well. The fact that we've never seen both of these teams make it to the playoffs. It's either always been just Rebellion or just Evos. You can even see from the history all the way from Season 8 up until Season 12. But for Season 13, will we finally see a different story?
Let's see, right? Will the trend continue for both of the teams? But it's so coincidental that it's always been either or.
It's just star-crossed lovers.
Star-crossed
You know,
lovers.
Romeo and Juliet.
The new one? With Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Tom
Yeah.
Holland.
Any of them. I think they have the same premise.
Oh, yeah? I thought it might be different. But yeah, for them, it's been the same relatively. Maybe we might have a new take on that Romeo and Juliet story with Season 13, just like we're seeing in real life with Tom Holland. For Season 13, could they possibly make it out to playoffs together? Or the drama, will they both not qualify? Will they stay solid all throughout? Because that has been the story for them, right? We've been talking about how they've been bros, they've been supporting each other in interviews as well. No animosity between these 2 teams for a long time, and it's very unfortunate that they will have to battle. But bros battle sometimes, and they come out as better men.
Okay. Have you guys fought before?
Me and Gani?
Yeah.
All the time, man.
All the time.
Because of his team
Off air.
and my team.
Oh, yeah. I understand. But we are moments away, ladies and gentlemen, of getting into the drafting
get it.
phase where the mind games will begin. Will we see cheese strats coming through for Rebellion like we saw in the keys to victory? Will that be the solution that they desperately need at this point of the season? Evos first pick, Rebellion with the second, Roger, Yuzong, Luo Yi
Wow.
banned out. So
Yep.
this is quite different. Rebellion, Harith, Xborg, and Angela. Why did you go for the Young?
Well, we literally just said they need to commit onto team fights or pickoffs. And I also mentioned Roger Florin, Yuzong Edith. That's usually the composition. They banned out the Yuzong and the Roger. So based on the keys to victory, don't ego draft. Coach Strateg has read it and has gone for full respect and also proactive. Look for those proactive picks for Clark and Valentina. First pick though, while the Matilda is up for grabs.
Maybe they're anticipating a Faramis pick coming through from Rebellion. I'm not really sure what's happening here, but we do have the Barats in place, secured by Rebellion, and to prevent too much of a fluidity choice for Annabelle.
And again, usually want to combine the Barats with the Matilda. But
Oh,
no, they
what?
instantly picked the Moskov. I was about to say, if you have D, a player that is so comfortable on this Moskov, you know what? I like it. I like it.
And man, I've seen this level of prio in ranked games as well. I didn't know if it actually translates over towards MPL ID, but the Moskov has been super prio in ranked games. When the Roger is banned out, you want to pick up this Moskov because the Moskov will be able to scale. And at this point, we're actually seeing a new development for the Moskov. We usually think that for Moskov, you need to go for Inspire, but now we're seeing Purifies. Even just yesterday, Skylar with the Flicker made it work. So, hey, they've shown that it's possible. And D, we've said this many times, MDL, during his time in Onyx Prodigy, he was the Moskov god, using it before it was even meta. But take a look at Evos. They have that counter, then the ton in the late game, and the Carmilla for team fighting up against Rebellion. They really want to hold them off from that team fight. It's all about that early game dominance.
They're also perhaps maybe anticipating that Rebellion could pick up something like the chip. So in case that they do that, they're going and giving a warning, a poster warning, like, hey, yes, you can pick up chip here. It's not been banned. We didn't go for the ban. We went for Louis instead. But if you do, we have the Carmilla, and you've seen the chip fail against our Carmilla in particular, especially in the hands of Dreams.
A very good anticipation pick there, but I really like what they are doing here, right? Rebellion, they grab more space with the Novaria. Sure, a standard pick would be Matilda. Again, Barat's Matilda would be a very aggressive early game, but with the Novaria, what it does, it actually balances out the range that Natan has. So I like what Rebellion is going here. I want to see the execution though.
Me too. I think for now, we really have to talk about, okay, an alpha ban coming through, but I really want to talk about Evo's Glory's playstyle, the usual playstyle that we see for him, because I did mention it's all about the early game, though they have the Natan. We have a comment first, though, from Mr. Eman, the Red Raider.
The best gold laner? What? Sorry, what? What did you say?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. I misheard. I want to face Evos because we lost to them in the last meeting. Yes, hopefully Evos does make it to the playoffs.
Same. Whatever he says, I agree. You know, I have to agree. Back to Evos. Wow, a chip ban despite picking the Carmilla. And going back to my point, early game dominance is what they look for, even when they have a Natan. Natan, this guy's going to be playing weak side all the time. Everyone else will be looking for fights and looking to get that snowball rolling from the start. That's why the Carmilla and the Valentina. For RBL, they need to respect that assassin potential, but also they need to respect the potential of Annabelle on the Fredrin. If he gets his hands on a Fredrin, and especially if Fluffy gets his hands on his comfort pick, the X-Borg up against the Barats here, it's going to be mad. The four players that they have towards the top side of the map will be so strong, and they'll be able to get the early aggression to weather the early onslaught from Rebellion.
Here's the thing, though. This is Rebellion. It was on the keys to victory as well. Novaria can be placed in the wrong position.
That's
they
true.
have the last pick, so perhaps they are hovering around to see the possibilities. But if Evos does not pick an assassin, Novaria can definitely go to their own position.
Okay, another respect ban here from Evos, denying away that early game pressure that Rebellion is known for, but the Kaja is still available, but they go for the Edith. So back to that.
Yeah, they're still trying to go for that team fighting composition, and what is good about the Edith here is that it's flex. Technically for the Edith and the Barat, it's still flex, and we have seen Rebellion utilize both these picks as pretty good flex. Barat goes to the XP, Edith goes to Rome, and then they go pick up a new jungler, and can go, you know, all the other ways as well. So for Evos, it does get them in a tough spot. I think they shouldn't try to fully counter Rebellion. Instead, they should just work on the team synergy with their draft. They already have a Carmilla. It's great for flex too. They've used this in the jungle, even though it didn't work out. Rome is usually where we see the success for Carmilla, for Evos Glory. And that's what I'm thinking. Pick up an X-Borg in the lane up against the Edith. That's a pretty good lane to try to dominate. And then you will go for the barrage too. I believe that might be a Dairoth jungle. No, it's a Dairoth XP and a Fredrin jungle.
Interesting. What are they fishing for here? Rebellion. Are they anticipating that the Dairoth can win against Barrett in the EXP lane?
Or the
Are they
Edith.
looking for the...
Or the Edith in the XP.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's still flex. Or they might pick up like a Paquito here technically. They could pick up another XP and then flex it all around.
What do you think the last pick is going to be?
You know what? After seeing the composition from Evos, they might... Do they have an affiliate? Yeah, I think this Novaria can definitely be Rome. They pick up another mage that can burst. So I'm guessing Lilia. No, Lapu. So Edith Rome. It's going to be standard composition here from side of Rebellion.
Yeah. Fluffy on the Dairoth. That is going to be a Dairoth in the EXP lane. What do you think about the compositions?
I think for Rebellion, they have a more balanced composition. For Evos, it's much more protect Mr. President. But also, I really want to question the Dairoth pick, right? Because we were talking about the X-Borg, maybe other picks for Fluffy, but we didn't think about the Dairoth at all. And especially here, because for Dairoth, usually you pick him up when you have a physical damage dealer that can deal even more damage with that second skill for Dairoth that reduces physical defense. Now I wonder who that's going to be comboed with, because Fredrin, I don't think Evos will be relying on Fredrin to deal damage. Maybe it's because of the early game. Maybe they want to look for that early game with the Dairoth. But expect this Dairoth to try to go full damage, because that's the only way I see that Dairoth build this game.
And with that being said, I'm expecting a lot of action even from the early game. We'll see how this pans out. Ladies and gentlemen, one more match win will give the White Tigers their running chance for the playoffs stage. Welcome to the Land of Dawn for game number one in the Battle of the Blues. Let's get it.
Taking a look at this game so far, my bad by the way, the X-Borg was banned already in the first phase. Didn't notice it quite late. Before the Dairoth pick, let's take a look at how this Dairoth actually plays out. So he actually does go Quantum Charge. I think he does want to go for a little bit more of an aggressive style here up against Cars to possibly go for invades early with the Carmilla too. You can see Dreams already start things off very aggressively. And D as well with the Quantum Charge, but this time no crazy spell. It's still with the Inspire. No Flicker, no Purify. Brands and D also with the Tenacity. It's attack speed for D, and it's the Thrill for Brands. But Fluffy, yeah, as expected. That's a full damage build, it seems. Master Assassin and the Rupture.
So they're relying on the front line coming through from the side of the Brethren. In the early game, that aggression should be able to pay off. I think they want to deny Rebellion from working in their comfort, which is that tempo in the early game. But later on, is that going to backfire onto them?
For Evos? I think we'll just have to see here the way that they play it out, because for Fluffy, I don't know how he's building, because based on the emblems, it should be more of a at least semi-tank build if he wants to be a bit more defensive. But they'll have enough damage for both physical and magical if they look for these proactive movements, and that technically for the keys to victory, that's what we are expecting from Evos.
Both teams already, Daytona's welcome already invested. The top side, Clockwood figures out. Good taunt, but Vincent, maybe the first one to fall. Good recovery from the White Tigers here in the early. It's way low. Actually hits that spear from downtown.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade, but meanwhile in the bottom lane,
one more hit there for Browns. But now let's see here, turtle take. Annabelle calmly taking the turtle. Retribution on hand. Dreams, though, will be stunned up and taken down. Rebellion finds a counter.
so instantly, right, you get that trigger and all things wreak havoc. With those trades on the board, who is it worth it for?
Oh, technically with that,
Wow.
I guess you can say it's Rebellion. They have the gold lead, Suelo gets the purple buff. They get an advantage in kills, and it's traded for the turtle. Realistically, it's more equal. There's no real win for the side, but technically, because of those resources, Rebellion will be able to utilize that purple buff now with Suelo also getting a kill and an assist to look for more pickoffs on the map or just to read the movements for Evos Glory, making it kind of hard for Evos to put pressure on the map.
By the way, fun fact, the last time that both of these teams met, it was a 2-1 victory for Evos, but that one game that they won, Rebellion, was on Suelo on the Novaria, who was also really active, stealing not just the buffs, but also the neutral objectives. So we're literally seeing the exact same thing coming through from Suelo. The fact that he was able to steal that purple buff did give them a big advantage. And we'll see how they're going to be able to translate it after this third minute.
It seems like Rebellion definitely have a buff of their own so far after playing in the Hero Tournament, playing super well here with this composition too. This is a normal comp that we are used to seeing from Rebellion in that competition. So maybe they've been saving a lot of these strats. Speaking of the XP, we did see how lethal this burst could be from the Dairoth. But again, he's a bit glass cannon. So if he does dive in deep later on in these team fights, he's going to have to pick and choose the moments to actually deal damage. He can get bursted.
Like an assassin Dairoth, you would say?
Almost. That's why I'm waiting for the build. Because for the build right now, it's still semi-tank kind of. He has a Leather Jerkin, he has a Fury Hammer. He's building towards a Heptases, I believe. So more on that semi. I expect it to be a bit semi. I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe he goes for damage if he continues to snowball.
But right now, both these teams are going to be posturing onto the next digital objective. There you go. The next item for Fluffy. But meanwhile,
Defensive Bravest Fighter, not a good signal there for the Blue Bulls to set this turtle up prematurely as well. As Rebellion now, they are still hovering around trying to grab space. Evos Glory with 5 now already, the top side. Rebellion looking for a contest. It seems like they will not have space. Brands securing the second turtle of the game.
Good turtle take by Evos Glory. Instant response from Rebellion. Great that Rebellion actually knew that that turtle was not fightable. No Bravest Fighter. Evos have so much CC with the Curse of Blood as well. If you clump up in these team fights early game, you are going to get punished for it. So Rebellion instead look for the trade. And so far, they are still able to withstand that gold lead. They're probably looking for that mid-game power spike to really strike, because that's what you can expect from this composition. 2 Dreadnought armors already, though, for the side of Rebellion, and 1 steel leg plate for Aldi TZ. Trying to hold on from that early damage, which will mostly come through Annabelle and Fluffy. But as Clockun continues to build these magic damage items, that's where they need to really prioritize some more magic.
Body caught though. Rebellion wasn't able to recover. They were looking for that top lane. But Evos, a very good read and a very good commitment on towards Audi. Oh, make another jump here, top side. Good stun, good taunt as well. Sway low does not even have time to pop the flicker. Another kill on the board for Glory.
Talking about surviving that early game pressure coming in from Evos, that's two members taken down, traded for nothing. Evos going to be able to pick up a little bit of that gold lead as Dreams.
Oh,
Looking for another play, perhaps?
here Glory on towards Brands, Inspire locked in, and Brands is able to be locked down D with practically the solo.
So that is a trade over for Brands, slightly slowing the fact that he could potentially go for a snowball. But it does shut him down and put him in his place. But Rebellion, I don't think they're done.
4v2, good stun on towards Dreams now, good knock-up as well. Annabelle now taking some heat, but Dreams at the backside will not be able to find an angle. That's a bait there. Good knock-up again by Audi. Now the immunity though, Annabelle will be the first one to fall. The turret as well as it was traded top side. Rebellion looking for some counterplay.
Big W for Rebellion though, the fact that they were able to take Brands down as well and then clear up the wave. They shoved in the lane and now Brands, he's actually rotating towards the turtle side. They get a mid turret too, so incredible value as Rebellion put themselves in a good spot to go for this turtle. This is a Rebellion turtle, should be.
Yep, perfect turtle. No more for Evos Glory as Rebellion picks up the final turtle. And Evos Glory, they are the ones looking quite lost here in minute 7.
That was really good timing as well, right? Because the fact that they were able to collapse that domino effect and the timing that Annabelle wasn't even on the board for that neutral objective contest really just did a signal that Rebellion could take hold of the map. And now they get another turret in that top side for it. So 1,700 gold lead for Rebellion. Have they reached that mid-power spike?
Yes, they have. The NOD and the Enchanted Talisman for Sway Low. He's playing more utility as the burst damage will actually come from everyone. Even Audi TZ at this point can deal so much damage, and take a look at that. Right after the leg plates, go straight for the Radiant Armor, and that is what everyone almost is going for as well. The Barat and even Lapu cars with the Radiant already. Now we're just waiting on Vincent to secure his Radiant again.
Wow. Did he get it again?
Sway Low!
Twice this time.
2 times in a row. Sway Low on the Navaria is built different. He has that attitude and he has that confidence in himself, and we've seen it not only just in this match, but in the matches before this. So expect more of these kinds of plays, and Evos need to sniff that out. And that's a big resource wasted if they have to utilize the retribution to prevent those steals from happening.
Whoa! Spirit of Glory will not be committed as D will grab the turret top lane. Wow! Rebellion is toying with Evos Glory right now.
So this is why it's a different take on the side lane pressure. Usually, for the most part, I think in the last 3 seasons, we usually see the XP lane who goes into the side lane and clears it out. But now with the Moskov having so much global pressure, because of the Spear of Destruction, we're seeing the Moskov actually do the dirty work of cleaning out the side waves, getting the macro advantage for the team, and staying safe with it. Because technically at this point, Brands cannot go up there to 1v1 him. Fluffy can, but D is building already towards... He already has 3 items. He's in his power spike, and Brands is still quite far away from that Holy Crystal. He might actually pick it up in the 11th minute, looking at how the game is being played right now. And Rebellion have this macro advantage they can utilize all the time. Edith just screening away around that top side as the Moskov clears the wave, and he can join a team fight at any time if he lands a Spear of Destruction.
So this is already best case scenario for the Blue Bulls. Wait a minute. Okay. And that's going to be a purple buff taken in from D. But back to that point, this is already the perfect scenario for Rebellion. They've been able to amount for an advantage. But Annabelle going to go for the contest. He's a level below Vincent at the moment. If he reaches that level 12, Vincent should be able to pick up that 13. But it looks like Evos want to commit still.
Evos Glory here. Still perhaps looking for an angle here with Fluffy as well on the top side. Good taunt on towards Cars. Let's take a look at Audi. Now Spear of Destruction connects, and take a look at D. He is going crazy with that 1 kill. Brands though will find that kill as well, but the Lord will fall to the hands of the Rebellion side. Now, oh my goodness, D survives, but that's 2 for 3, but Rebellion got the Lord.
Yeah, but like What? How? How did Evos get that much value despite the fact that the Blue Bulls were able to get that Lord? Rebellion were controlling.
They were, but they weren't technically. I gotta give props to both teams. Rebellion trying to utilize the forced errors, but at that point, they've already gotten the Lord so low to a point where Evos knew, you know what? We're just gonna stay decisive. We're gonna hold this Lord from resetting, and you won't be able to play with that macro advantage. So D was walking up top. Evos decided to just go for the fight. So for the most part in that fight, actually, they split the fight up. D went to the bottom side, going on to Brands with the Spear of Destruction teleport, and the rest of them just kind of got wiped up top. Luckily, it's still very worth it for Rebellion. Their carry still stayed alive. No shutdowns given towards Evo's glory, and they get the Lord. So they'll be able to utilize this Lord advantage with a lot more pressure coming down on Evos.
Sasquatch spots 4. Annabelle is there as well. Good airborne there towards Dreams, but Evo's glory, they will be able to handle the Lord. This is the first Lord, mind you. Rebellion will be able to get almost all of the tier 2s.
That
Or
tier 2
Rebellion.
in the bottom lane, though, is still standing. Nobody's going to clear it just yet. Looks like Rebellion are hovering over this mid lane with the waves crashing.
With the Natan, though, I don't think they will be able to get any base turrets. Well, let's see here, Rebellion still with an attempt. Annabelle, oh my goodness, D! With the burst and attack speed, he'll be able to just melt Annabelle down. A first base turret taken from Evos.
Wonderfully done, man. This is beautiful by Rebellion. That 80th pick just going and finding so much value this game. Pops the Primal Wrath because they want to threaten the turret take. Annabelle tries to frontline, but it's very different when you try to frontline up against an Edith compared to any other roamer. You get immobilized and you get bursted down, not just by the Moskov, but even by the Primal Wrath.
Good immobilize. And it's actually Evo's glory finding the counter. Now good stun on towards Dreams and Brands. Brands 1 HP survives that fight way low. Wasn't able to find and hit it from downtown, but that was a good defense by Evos.
Yeah, Audi DZ being traded back, that means that they don't have any initiation power other than Kars, who was forced so low that he now needs to recall.
Oh.
Let's take a little update into the items here.
Yeah, shout out to D. He had the Magic Blade in the Lord fight, and he completed the Rose Gold that enabled him to survive in that fight. But I want to focus on Brands here, because there's so much magic defense already for the side of Rebellion. He needed to go Divine Glaive. That will severely halt that Holy Crystal power spike from happening. So he's probably going to get it in the 14th minute of the game. And at that point, Rebellion might be able to just build up too big of a goal lead for even Natan to look for a comeback. Looking at this even, Natan won't be able to free hit. Usually, you just take account 2 members from the enemy team that you need to be aware of on the Natan. Now, technically, with the Edith and Lapu, that's 4 members that you need to be aware of in all these team fights. How they disengage, how they engage. And technically, it's all up to Rebellion as to when they want to take these fights. They've been winning because they can actually bait out the entropy quite easily with poke from Audi TZ, with Kars using the Bravest Fighter defensively or offensively, and obviously Audi TZ with the Earth Shatter. He can just disengage at any time. So for Rebellion, they call the shots. It's all up to Evos to just react to the shots. How they actually look for pickoffs, that's, I guess, their key to victory at this point. Either they fully turtle in their base, look for like a defense and wait for a mistake, or they go for a pickoff. But I don't think a pickoff will come in right here. Rebellion look too clean right now.
The mind games, that's definitely the key point at the moment, but Brands just secured his Holy Crystal. Very close.
Echo spots 5. Audi can see. Oh, Tono's welcome now, invested early. Fluffy will lose his immortality. Go to the backside. He's actually Brands taken down and Flockham as well. Rebellion now going crazy with D. Is just going ham on towards Dreams. Dreams will not survive. That's a double for D as well. Another shutdown. And that's Rebellion going for the wipeout. Annabelle in a no man's land, looking for a defense, looking to escape, but D will focus on the turret, and Rebellion, they will have a say in the first game.
Who needs that power spike? It doesn't even matter if you get the Holy Crystal power spike for Brands. If you're instantly deleted off the map by the Moskov, steered in by D. That last Malefic Roar coming through, that was just like his signal to go ham. go into the team fight. And at some point, I could have sworn that they anticipated that. Evos anticipated that move. They had a 3-man rotation towards that bottom side, anticipating that Moskov would go for the split, but they didn't commit. They decided otherwise. They decided to commit onto the Lord, and Rebellion were able to get the advantage out of that.
Like I said, in these team fights, if Evos call the shots, they cannot win. They need to react to the shots made by Rebellion, but that puts them in a tough spot when they are 6,000 gold behind. We also mentioned the entropy. So easy for Rebellion to bait it out, and guess what happened in that fight? They baited it out. They all went to Cars. Cars goes for a defensive Bravest Fighter. Entropy used up. They all just look for the engage. With no entropy, this Natan cannot shred the front line. You need Inspire if you don't have the entropy, and the man did not go for Inspire. The man went for Purify, which is, again, is a normal build. But they found the window to bait out the entropy, smacked them right after that with the engage, and D. The accuracy on the Spear of Destruction. He's been shooting it from the opposite side of the map, and he never misses.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
We've been talking about how he's the Moskov god in MDL. That's how. He has experience.
360 no scope.
360 no scope.
Maybe 720 no scope. He does spin twice.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1 in this best of 3 in the Battle of the Blues has been taken in by Rebellion. But all of our predictions were 2-1.
Yeah.
So, Evo's second game?
I expect Evos to recover. I mean, this is, I think, mostly this season, Evos Glory has recovered a lot of games. So I expect no less in the series.
And we also expected no less from D on his monster pick, the Moskov. He wasn't taken down a single time. I just realized 502 KDA. How?
A prodigy. Okay, Gani. Well, how crisp, clean positioning, very good awareness, and a team to support him as well. He always comes in towards the end. He's more of the assassin, technically, even though he's a marksman, because he comes in towards the end.
He was a sweeper.
He was a sweeper. He's a janitor.
He's a
he
janitor.
cleans up. After Evos make a mess, after they've used their resources, Mr. Janitor Man D comes in swinging with the Spear of Destruction and cleaning up. Rose Gold Meteor as well. No need for the Wind of Nature despite Fluffy going for damage. It does not matter. He's not threatened at all by Fluffy. That Rose Gold Meteor shield is enough to actually hold it off. And I think we really need to go back to what Evos was planning, right? Because I actually really like the draft up until that Dyroth pick, which again, we did mention, usually it's comboed with a physical damage dealer. So he's going to go for a glass cannon build. And even then, I think it's a bit too gimmicky of a pick to go full damage Dyroth in MPL. And I think that showed it's very one-dimensional. Rebellion, no. If you jump in with skill 2 and you can't get the full burst right as you skill 2, that's it. A couple of times you were able to see that, right? Like the skill 2 here, finding pickoffs in the early game, but towards the later stage of the game, yeah, we just did not see Fluffy at all. He was a ghost in this game, and not a good one. D, on the other hand, man, the way Rebellion played that early game was just really good. They held on for the early game onslaught of Evos. They traded whenever they could. They weathered the storm. And when those power spikes hit, they decided to go in, decided to fight, and use that crazy macro advantage they have with the global pressure of D. But that's exactly why they can't call the shots, by the way. If Annabelle walks up, Edith Primal Wrath, you're immobilized, you get shot down by the Edith, and then the Moskov eats you up. And this is exactly what happened here as well. They baited out the entropy with Cars. They tried to lock him down, but Cars used the Bravest Fighter defensively, and then AudiTZ concealed to look for the re-engage. Spear of Destruction connects, and D just cleans house.
Sweeper. You said a ghost, but in a like the bad kind. What's a good kind of ghost?
Because like ghosts are scary. Usually you should be able to put fear into the minds of Rebellion.
Oh, but
Here,
instead you become Casper.
I don't think he was friendly.
Casper's cute.
But he wasn't. Well, he's fluffy. I don't know about cute, but he is fluffy. He's a fluffy ghost.
I was referring to Casper being cute, not. Anyway.
Casper is cute.
Anyway, 15 minutes of a game, ladies and gentlemen, and it was interesting.
It is. It is. It really is.
Because I would have thought that Evo's Glory could have steamrolled with the kill pressure from the Dyroth, but I get it, right? There was a no pair. Usually I think we used to see a Paquito Dyroth combo. I think that was a big thing, that they were able to get lots of pickoffs on the board and have a little bit more control in the side lanes. But yeah, Evo's Glory. it slipped through their hands.
I think for Dairoth, it's like the biggest fall-off pick, you know? Like, you need to get a snowball going from the start. You need to get a massive snowball for you to even still be relevant in the 15th minute of the game. And he didn't. I don't think he got that big of a snowball, but yet we expected semi-tank. He went for full damage. Immortality was the only defensive item he got, but that was more of desperation because he just kept on like getting shredded. But Hunter Strike, Blade of Heptases, I am not a fan of this Dairoth pick, unfortunately. Maybe if they had a Bruno or if they had something else that was physical in the MM, I think it could have worked. He could have gone for a tanky build as well, utility Dairoth like we are used to seeing.
Yeah, I'm really trying to think the value of the Dairoth here, but it's very hard to say here with this composition, especially, we all know Rebellion can just flex the Edith, flex the Novaria even, flex the Barats, and that is what happened, right? Lapu-Lapu last pick, and then you can see what Cars did. I again, give credits to Cars. He wasn't giving any potential kills towards the Dairoth in the early game because he was playing it very, very safe. He know the powers of that Dairoth, and he just hugged the turret top side.
So what would have been a better pick?
Than the
Terizla?
Yeah, I think just a tankier front line would be pretty good, like a Terizla, but they also kind of needed damage in the early game, so it just felt kind of disconnected for Evos. That is how they usually play, which is, again, 4 strong, 1 weak, right? But it just didn't work out there the way they planned. They had the early game, but they never had the advantage. They got the turtles, but the goal lead was always in favor of Rebellion because they were always able to trade. The instant pickup would be Xborg, but yeah, it was banned, right?
His first phase.
Mobility, maybe?
I think the Lapu could have worked for them, actually.
They let it go.
They let it go. They picked Dairoth.
That's why, you know, when things, like, you know, when good things happen to you, don't let it go. Don't let it go. Don't let it slip. Don't let the opportunity slide, especially to get your hands on the best device ever, the Samsung Galaxy S24 series. Mirko will show you why.
Show us why, Mirko. This is why, ladies and gentlemen.
Why?
Right?
Please,
Mirko
please tell us why.
is just tunnel vision. Wait.
For you guys who want to visit, you know, different countries, like me, I want to visit Korea, but I can only speak Indonesian. I can't even speak English. So, what do I need to do? I get the interpreter here, and I can just say, "Apa kabar?" Why is it not coming out, the audio? Oh, okay, here. Apa kabar?
Okay.
So you can do different sentences. You want to say anything in Indo? You translate to
Yeah.
Korean?
Aku sayang Yawi. Aku sayang Yawi.
Oh my god, man. I don't think you
Aku sayang Yawi.
Is that wait?
Interesting.
Okay.
That was an example, by the way.
That was an example.
It's just like a.
Yeah, I mean,
It didn't translate Yaoi because he doesn't know what Yaoi is, but it translated everything
I
else.
know what Yawi is.
we know what Yaoi is.
Yeah. The
but
roamer?
I know what you guys don't know.
What?
I know that you guys don't know that you guys can get a cashback of up to 2 million rupiahs and a 40% discount on a Samsung Care Plus. So don't forget to check Samsung.com/ID.
Epic Games. Just like that. Be epic. Just like that. With Samsung Galaxy S24 series.
Go ahead, check it out. It's so simple, and you get a 40% discount on Samsung Care Plus. 2 million rupiahs cashback.
I was joking, by the way.
Of course.
Like, I wasn't serious. That was just like an example.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
To
Gani.
get that out of the way.
It's like Gani loving Lutfi.
But that's not a joke. He really does love Luffy.
Do you really love Lutfi, Gani?
I mean, he's Onic. I love all Onic players, or, you know, Prodigy players.
So are you a fan? Are you a big fan of D?
You like D?
I like D. I mean,
D's great.
D was the reason Rebellion won.
But
D was the MVP.
Yeah.
That was a massive, massive play from D.
Multiple times. Absolutely phenomenal from D. If Gideon was here, he would say something else. You know, shout out Gideon.
But remember, ladies and gentlemen, that was just the first game. We are going to get into the second game real quick, and there is a chance that if Rebellion pull the exact same thing, they could look for a 2-0 against Evos.
I mean, Chico, seeing at his face, he's locked in. So yeah.
But can you imagine, like, the two teams that only need one more game to secure
Like Aura?
playoffs? Like, every other team is making it just so hard for them.
You know, it's like, it's so hard to get the playoffs, but all they need to do is get a Samsung phone. It's not that hard, and you guys can get the Galaxy Zone 2 during playoffs. You guys get to sit in front, and look at this, a couple.
Hey.
The Team Galaxy Zone couple here. I don't know their names. I wanted to call them Mr. something, but I don't know their names, so unfortunate, but we'll call
They're
them Mr. and Mrs. Galaxy.
Mr. and Mrs. Galaxy. I like that. They're even twinning with their outfits.
Oh, you're right.
That's
Hey, it's
cute.
almost like you guys.
You're right!
You're wearing the same outfit. It's almost
Are
like
we
you got
though?
a uniform.
We are.
Wait, I'm wearing the same outfit.
You
That's
too.
weird.
How did... What? Well, they do desk as well.
Huh.
Wait, the players are wearing the same outfit.
Jerseys?
What? Man,
Must
so
be a
many
coincidence.
coincidences. Let's take a look at the biggest coincidence, which
Ooh.
is...
Whiplash.
I don't know what this coincidence is that I'm trying to refer to from this game because there was no coincidence at all. This was all skill. Usually the kids at home will say skill issue when this kind of game happens. And I think 4D, that's what happened too. Big plays for him all the time, always using that global pressure. The damage was enough. And I want to take a look at that damage dealt actually because I thought for sure D would hold the damage dealt. Number one. Turns out it wasn't him, it was Sway Low. Mr. Low doing the highest damage in this game. And he went for like a utility build at the start of the game, so it wasn't even like a full burst build at the start. I guess when you steal 2 purple buffs, you can steal a whole lot more categories too, and he stole that damage dealt from D, took it away. The poke damage building up.
Will they be able to steal the dreams
No.
of
Dream-
Evos?
I don't
Glory?
think so. I don't. Oh, the dreams of Evo's glory. I thought dreams, like, you know, take the player.
Well, maybe not now. Maybe
Not ever.
next
When if
season.
Audi plays like this,
Oh, true, true.
right? Like,
Maybe after?
maybe
after the
if-
game.
if they really want to take dreams and Audi continues to play like this, maybe for like their second team, because you know Audi's doing so well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Remember what Rebellion said at the
Okay,
start, in the
what-
opening.
what did
In
Rebellion say?
Kadira we trust.
So in this man.
In this, oh, not him,
Oh
the
no,
guy before.
The before one.
Yeah, Evos need to put their trust on this guy though, because they need to follow their dreams.
Let's see though.
They need to follow the keys to victory, honestly.
Will they ban the Moscow in this game?
Will they take red side? They will. Okay.
Here's the thing, guys. So, one of the things that people have identified about Evos is if they don't get their comfort and their power
Praise the
heroes,
stars
they don't
and
necessarily
see your
perform that well. And the fact that Rebellion see it, the export ban in the first phase, I think that's just so expensive. What has Fluffy successfully played this season other than the export?
Yeah.
When you're like, man, that's
Terizla.
Exactly. But why didn't they pick it in the second phase of game number 1? So let's see the adaptations coming through. Like you mentioned, Rebellion and Evos have swapped sides here. Export Pyramid's gonna be the ban from the Blue Bulls. Evos have taken out the Harith and the Luo Yi.
Okay. Harith and Lo Yi ban. There's the Faramis and the Xborg as well. So this time it's already a different approach from RBL. Full respect from RBL. Meanwhile, for Evos, they're really just dealing with the meta picks, right? The Harith and the Lo Yi. And even last time we got to see the Roger Yuzong ban. We got to see a bit of respect, and now the respect will be for the Moskov. They need to take it out, man. But I don't even think Rebellion have that in mind. If the Roger's up for grabs, they usually go for Roger. But now that the Angela is up, they can just flex that all the time. They can utilize whatever carries that they need. It could be an Angela Natan, it could be an Angela Roger. If Evos don't go for the Barats, it could be even an Angela Barats.
No. So with that in mind, I believe in Lost Glory, they need to take the Fredrin away. Or, you know what? Pick up the Ling, right? Pick up the Ling
Early?
here.
This early?
The Barats is open, that's the problem.
True. True.
And it'll be Barat's Angela.
Yeah.
So it's a big guy Barat plus even
Matilda?
more.
Okay. So comfort picks.
Comfort. It was banned out in the first game as well. Yuzong, right? The first phase by Evos.
But still. But now Rebellion need to choose. Do they want to go for the Barats or do they want to go for Fredrin? Because so far, Annabelle has found a lot of success on the Fredrin. You can even say it's a power hero for Annabelle. So Rebellion now, what do they want to choose for Vincent? Fredrin or Barret?
I think that's a big question for
Either.
Rebellion to even answer here. Because I can't even think about it. What do they want to go for? My feeling is still Roger because of the flex, but again, like you said, Annabelle, prio pick on him is the Fredrin, and if they don't go for the Fredrin, which they don't in the end, Evos can pick up the Fredrin or the Barats and then ban either one later on. But luckily for Rebellion, this is a flex pick. We have a CC that does really well as well with the Angela, so it's already kind of baiting Evos to go for the Barats. Go for it. We will shred you down. We will have some kiting pressure to go up against you and the Angela. So technically, he doesn't even need to go for Vengeance with the Hard Guard. He can go for Purify, for any CC that comes through him. He can just sustain and get out CCing you.
Okay, with that, still gonna be the Ling though for that third pick, right? After seeing the Roger and CC, there's no crowd control per se, perhaps. No lockdown here up to this point, so it does make sense for Evos Glory to just invest early in the first phase for that Ling.
And then they ban the Barrets in the second
They can
phase.
ban the jungler, yeah.
That should be the good way to go. That should be the real way to go for Evos, but they are banning Terizla. This is already getting very, very scary for Evos Glory with the Ling. Because Annabelle, no doubt that he's a very, very good Ling. But if he gets shut down, there's not much you can do. With the CC and the Roger, that's two picks that actually do quite well against the Ling itself and also are winning lane. So the Natan will actually struggle quite a bit against the Roger, which means that we'll have a little bit more pressure to play with around the enemy jungle later on. Especially if Rebellion secures something like a Lilia. A big pick in the mid lane with the Angela so that they have super crazy mid control. So Evos, they still need to be very, very careful. That's why they ban out the Terizla. That's what usually is comboed in with anything in the jungle that looks for prio so that you get extra prio into XP. They banned the Tigreal.
But remember, this Angela can still be flexed. Swalo can use this Angela in the mid lane, so we might even be looking for a Franco pick, maybe. We're not really sure where this is going, right?
Yeah.
We do have a comment, though, from the coach of Rebellion. The arrival of Audi TZ has added a new spice to Rebellion, which managed to defeat three big teams, RRQ, Onyx, and Evos.
Wow. Okay, that's true. That's a fact. But also, I want to add here in the composition, cars, right? With the chip ban out, it opened up Paquito. Will Evos Glory deny it though? But they already committed to Yuzong, so I do see cars picking up a Paquito. Very good.
CC though, already.
You're right with the CC. I don't think
it's flex.
CC gold lane.
Wait, that actually can come through. They actually ban out the Minotaur first though, so they're looking for dive. If the Roger does go jungle, technically you might be able to see a CC gold. Not too sure if D actually plays it, so I would still put my money on something like an MM in the gold lane, even if they flex a Roger into the jungle. But Evos, let's see here with the Yuzong, Natan, and Ling. They need a bit more prio in the mid lane. They can pick up a solid mid laner that clears fast, something like a Novaria to help this team out. But they go for the Edith instead, which should be insta-roam for Evos. They're planning to actually force these fights, similar to how Rebellion forced those fights in game number 1.
I see Rebellion here still has no answer with the Ling, right? It has potential on that split push. So how do you want to answer this? Is it going to be with Roger?
I don't know.
I think they need someone that can take care of that Ling. They need someone that can pressure the far lane as well.
Technically, the Barrats is still open.
Yeah.
So you can just pick up the Barrats, put the Roger in the gold lane, XPCC. If you want to have more pressure in the objectives, in the clear, and so on and so forth. And then you can put in an additional, I would honestly say for CC, like crowd control, Franco is still an option they could go for. But they go for the Barrett and the Valentina.
Barrett's and the Valentina. The Barats for the Ling to try to invade early on. The Valentina in the mid lane, and now for Evos, they need to get additional pressure because the Valentina Angela super fast clear. 2 damage dealers technically in the early game with base damage that can really shove the wave quick to then support the Barats that can go into the enemy jungle. And also, Evos are on red side, so their purple buff will be in the bottom side of the map. They have a Roger in the lane against the Tan. That's a winning lane and can also help early on into the enemy purple buff. Evos, last pick, mid lane.
If they want a match clear, I would go for Lilia here.
Yeah, and Lilia or Novaria.
The reason why I said Lilia is because she's a little bit more safer. If anyone wants to go to dive, she has the black shoes to be able to get out of these sticky situations, whereas Novaria, it's not as independent. There is a way for her to, you know, maneuver around the map a little bit better because of her skill too, but she is still vulnerable in that back line.
Let's see though what will happen in game 2. Match point for Rebellion. Evos Glory, they desperately need a win here to actually increase their odds.
And the odds are looking slimmer and slimmer as the season progresses. Those match points aren't getting any higher, and if they lose this, there is going to be a big chance that we won't see the Blue Bulls in the playoffs. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Can Rebellion break the dream? Can they break the Cinderella story that Evos have so desperately tried to build? Game number 2, into the land of dawn, the battle of the Blue Bulls.
Welcome to
Let's see how this unfolds.
Roger rocking the Purify here. So he wants to be extra secure against Eden.
Extra secure, you might add. Annabelle, though, still with his typical build here on the Ling. It's the weakness finder. Not the... Oh, fine.
What?
We spoke about this mid control. This is what... Suelo? Oh, I thought he was going to flicker for that. Yeah, now, luckily for Evos, Annabelle usually starts on the orange buff, rotates over to the purple buff, but in this game, he needs to go for purple buff first. There's no way he can actually greed for the orange to purple to fight for turtle later on. And you can see, wow, full confidence in the mid lane, man. That's Wilderness Blessing and Inspire. No defense, no extra movement as well. They really want to just dominate this mid lane, and that's what we're seeing so far from Rebellion.
It's a good Terrify on towards Dreams early on.
Wow.
And that 2 mage in the mid causing destruction now though. Tempest of Blade already invested in Sway low. Will be the trade. Good response here. Clarence finds the lockdown, and that's a trade in favor of Rebellion.
But that was really good follow-up coming through from Vincent. He actually charged his skill before he went into the engage and was able to get that Daytona's Welcome onto Annabelle. But here it is, another 1-2v1 situation. Annabelle, Dreams, and Vincent. They don't want to go for it. There is backup coming through from a D. But that's just it, right? That was the early aggression that we were anticipating from Rebellion because of the aggressive mid-trail that they have. And now they're going to be a ways more quicker to the next neutral objective.
They noticed that in the bottom lane, right now, D is actually not fully bullying Brand, so they go straight for the turtle. Instead, they will look for the purple later on, but it's all about creating a big enough lead to later on invade the jungle, because that's truly how you want to stop this Ling from snowballing, stop this Ling from getting to a point that can threaten Rebellion, which is that purple buff. So it's all calm right now, especially with the kill that they got on Annabelle. It can be a very slow game for them.
So watch the face check. Take a look at the poke potential here. Dreams flickers out of the way, but it's way low. We'll have space, and as well as Cars there assisting. Tempest of Blade on towards one member as he will Finch Boys out. Man, Rebellion really knows the stuff.
They're on a roll here, but Cars?
With the hard guard. Cars, Vengeance as well now, looking for the kill here. Fluffy will not be able to find it as Clockwood has space to perhaps find a cheeky kill. But again, Rebellion responds in the right manner.
That was a very small thing, but he walked inside so that he doesn't get hit by the sweet spot of the Dragon Tail to actually survive that. So, hey, wow, well played, Cars.
What is... Man, Rebellion, game number 2, they woke up and chose violence. such dominant pressure coming through from them. The decision making has been impeccable as well. A 1,000 gold lead. They're on a roll here. They really, really want this win, and you can even see it through their gameplay. Suelo as well, his IMU placement and choice making has been great. He was able to use Dreams' ultimate earlier on to dish out that damage and eventually get that kill and that damage down. I like what I'm seeing from the Blue Bulls here.
Yeah, the timer.
The invasion here. Daytona's welcome on towards Dreams, and take a look at here. Annabelle will still claim the purple as Evos Glory finds not a kill, just the purple, and they will have to be satisfied about that.
They need to. They need to just take that dub, because that dub was actually already really good for them. The fact that they were still able to get the purple buff is quite massive. But again, for the neutral objective, Vincent has taken his own purple. Now onto the turtle he goes. He doesn't have the Detona's welcome anymore, so Evos technically can pull the trigger. Both red trees will be up at the same time too. Rebellion knows it, and they actually decide to play it slow. They have the advantage here. No real reason to rush anything. But there is something that they need to rush. They need to rush to shut down Brands. They've been so focused on Annabelle that Brands has actually been free farming and getting a few hits onto the turret goal too.
Definitely going to be a threat in the later stage of the game. But it feels like Rebellion, they just want to try and steamroll it, but Black Dragon form.
They pull the trigger here. Vincent, though, will still have the last laugh. Now Tempest Blade as a defensive maneuver, still to clean with it. But Rebellion, and they will not give up and hunting Annabelle down. Fluffy now in a 3v1, a furious dive towards the back, and he is okay. Take a look at the bottom side now. He forced to use the Purify as Dreams and Brands, the duo, finding the first turret of the game.
Man, it's the anticipation of that move, right? I think they knew it. Okay, we'll try a 50-50 on the turtle. We don't get it. Let's try and hinge our bets in the bottom side of the map, get a trade onto D, and kind of try and propel Brands a little bit further. But at that point, he denied that away. D was able to get out. They didn't get that trade off. And now Rebellion, they pick up the purple buff too. Yeah,
now that's really, really good, especially for the timers here. They were able to trade equally in turrets, despite getting the turtle and now the purple buff, so it's still a massive win for Rebellion. Because for Rebellion, why they're more focused on Annabelle in the early game is because Ling gets his power spike quicker than the Natan. But now, they can turn their focus towards the Natan. They have the purple buff control already. Annabelle is going to be severely under-leveled and also severely under-farmed. Look at Vincent, 2 levels ahead already. This is why the Barats work so well. This is why Onyx usually, when they go for the Ling, they ban out the Barats. Brands, ooh, has to flicker. Okay.
That's why. What do you think about Evos not banning out the Barats? They had every possibility to do so. And yet they didn't go for that. They went for Charizla and Chip.
Yeah. I think it goes back to the keys to victory, the tendency of Evos to ego draft and try to expect things, assume things. Maybe they were assuming the Roger to go jungle because technically, yeah, when Rebellion picked Roger, 9 out of 10 times he goes jungle. But that slight chance of him going gold lane might just be the reason they'll have a tougher road to playoffs. Remember, if they lose here, their playoff ticket will be on the hands of their match against Onyx.
See here already, players munching, clumping up in the mid side. Evos Glory with 4. And they will look to shift their agenda towards the turtle. Now, 2,000 gold lead, Hotel. Will they invade or will they go turtle? As Cars already giving the green light as Annabelle is quite low.
I don't think he can contest for his own buff even.
Tempest the Blade! A Rebellion pulling the right trigger. Annabelle down and purple buff no more again. Call the 911, Mr. Officer. My purple buff is gone.
I was gonna say he can't contest for the neutral objective, not his own purple buff, but there he stands. He doesn't even try to get out of it. He gets traded in, loses his purple buff. That's absolutely no value for the White Tigers whatsoever. Suelo.
Whoa, slated here. Oh my god, a little bit too aggressive there, and Evos Glory capitalizes.
Suelo feeling kind of Sans with it, you know? That's a normal move from Sans usually, but he gets out maybe, you know? It's 50-50, sometimes he doesn't as well. It's okay, Suelo, he's feeling it, he's feeling that groove. Luckily for him, the shutdown was taken by Fluffy, not Brands, right? Because that could actually turn things around. With just a bit more go, oh my god, Cars is bullying Annabelle, man. And he can actually dive this. He can go for it if he has ult. Luckily for Annabelle, he does it. Bottom lane.
Vincent now still opening vision. Evos Glory does not want business. As Rebellion, they have defended their orange buff.
Okay, it's all chill. Evo's Glory, keys to victory. Let's take a look at their winning condition here. At this point, Annabelle is so far behind that they can actually just look to play for Brands. If Brands gets his power spike, it's all going to be good. Annabelle, just get these side lanes. There is a problem, though, with him getting the side lanes. That means that Fluffy will be the guy who will have to take the fall. He'll have to make the Lutpi sacrificial play to just have all the levels against him, and he'll have to go full tank utility. Vincent is on this purple constantly, and he's technically almost 2 levels ahead. Look at that pull. Well played.
He's looking for an escape route. Primal Wrath as a defensive maneuver now with the cover from the teammates. Now Vincent actually taking some heat. He is quite low as Annabelle looking for the kill, finds it. Now Rebellion will not have a response, actually sway low next on the board as Cars with the vengeance looking for a kill, finds it, but he will be traded as well as Annabelle collects the double. D survives with low HP, and that is Evos Glory actually winning the fight.
Yeah, a 3-for-2 trade. They left Brent alone in the backline to dish out the damage that eventually melted all these 3 members down. And Annabelle wasn't even able to be taken out either, so the main damage dealers were just free to hit. And Rebellion lost control.
Way too overconfident, man. They got way too heated in that skirmish. They got the purple buff, they baited the Primal Wrath. That should have been an easy rotation towards the Lord with control, with the resources burnt out. They decided to fight in the Primal Wrath, giving Dreams some space to actually deal some damage onto them. And then it also continued with them whiffing their abilities. Vincent, Detona's Welcome not connecting, and they just went in blindly there. A bit too over-aggressive, and that actually might lead to Evos being able to mount a comeback.
But before that, we are going to check out this game. Fun fact by GoPay. Annabelle becomes the Ling player with the highest win rate in MPL ID Season 13 with 100% win rate from his 2 times picked.
Amazing stat, by the way.
That might actually be ruined here with his Ling performance here.
I mean, if Rebellion keep throwing like that.
That's true. Annabelle has been getting a lot of good farm, by the way. He's the same level as Vincent. Vincent will be reaching 14 very soon, but look at Cars. Look at how they're doing this. It's basically the same with the Moskov, just with less mobility, less global presence.
Annabelle picks up a Malefic Roar, though. Is he going full damage with
Yeah.
his build?
He needs to, right? On the Ling, there's really no option to go for a defensive maneuver. It's a Berserker's Fury, Haas Claws into the Malefic Roar. A different build to Kyrie. It is more of the attack speed build, not the full Defiant Blade reliant build, and now they go for it.
Spots 5 to Echo. Annabelle almost finds a backside. Now Daytona's Welcome. Good knockup actually helps Evos Glory to find the Lord. Annabelle finds the killing spree as well. And Glockun will find another. That's a 2-for-1 as Rebellion. Perhaps they still smell blood and perhaps looking for a trade. But Evos Glory denies it.
That was essentially a 2-for-2. Evos, Annabelle, despite all odds, he was able to secure the Lord. This is smelling like a White Tiger comeback.
It does look like it's going to be a comeback. Highlight presented by UBS Gold, our official gold partner. You can see the advantage from Rebellion not being utilized at all. They had the wave up top. They could have played it slow, but they decided to fight, and Vincent got knocked up by the Lord, got knocked up by Fluffy, and Annabelle just took full control there. That's the thing with the Ling. If you do clear out the side wave, even if you make a slow push happen, the Ling will be able to rotate faster. Rebellion, they completely lost their lead by not utilizing their advantage, and now they might have to pay for it all with their lives.
See here, tier 2, bottom side will be defended. They will defend the mid tier 2 as well. As Rebellion actually, they are handling the Lord push here very well. Oh, eventually though, Evos Glory will be able to find the tier 2 bottom side. As Rebellion, yeah, their control, their lead diminishes.
They had a specific target, the Blue Bulls, Rebellion, right? With the composition that they brought, they had a small window that they could capitalize over Evos before Brands gets his power spike. Miracle, with the way that he's itemizing, is he at his power spike yet?
Unfortunately, kinda. I don't want to say yes because he actually went for Divine Glaive and Bloodwing, so a bit more defensive and a bit more penetration there. but no Holy Crystal just yet. So that burst, that crazy burst that can actually melt Rebellion, it's there, but it's not at the peak point. So that's actually quite scary for Rebellion, actually. The fact that Evos have been winning in these team fights despite Brand's not actually hitting his peak yet. When he gets the Holy Crystal, then say goodbye to the big guy stack, say goodbye to that healing, because it will not play a part into these team fights. He can just wipe the floor. And Brands has been able to free hit in a lot of these team fights because Annabelle has been distracting the front line, or just technically everyone from Rebellion. If that continues, Rebellion are in for a full comeback, and we're gonna see a game 3.
2,500 gold lead, but whose job is it to take care of Brands in the back line? Would you say it's Cars?
Technically, it's everyone's. It's more of a dive comp Rebellion have, but they don't have a lead anymore, so they can be held off by the front line of Evos, and technically, if they do dive, and it does get chaotic, Annabelle will take complete control of that fight.
Right.
So it's just kind of tough for Rebellion now that they've lost that advantage.
So what do? What's the? They can't go for a full 5v5 team fight then, in that particular case, right? Because they can't go for the dive because of the lack of lead. Do they look for a pickoff? Is that the way to go now?
There's no crowd control though.
Yeah, they don't have any crowd control. I will still say that their strength is through Cars in the bottom lane. Cars should continue the split push and try to just 1v1 Annabelle. Bait him into 1v1, because I think it will be a skill matchup there. It's a Vengeance versus the burst of the Ling. Both of them will try to bait each other's resources out. But look at Sway Low. This is a good pick-off angle that they're going for. And if they actually are able to find it, that's the winning condition.
Wow. Is already baited. Oh, Brands is there. That's crisp communication and setup. Brands now, again, he might be hungry, looking for another, as Cars is still able to sustain the damage, but that is very good teamwork now. Take a look at the Lord Pit. It is actually Baratz now committing.
Oh.
Airborne, good knockup as well this time. Oh my goodness, damage won't be enough, as Glockun is there to find the kill. D finds the kill as well, but Annabelle finds the shutdown. That's another big win for Evos Glory.
The crowd goes wild, and Brands is dishing out that damage, forcing a flicker out of Audi TZ, and look at that damage come through. A 3-4-2 trade. Evos, the White Tigers, their claws are out. Their teeth are sharpening, and they're looking for that end with that Lord on the way in the top side of the map.
Uh-oh. 3 Brands again. Annabelle. That was a play both here by Swalo as well, but Annabelle showing who's boss. Finds a kill. Connection with Glockun as well. And now Evos Glory, they are on the front seat. Rebellion, they need to stabilize here, taking the Lord down, and they need to go back to the drawing board.
And now it gets really tough. I don't even think they can defend here. They have really bad wave clear, and Evos have crazy siege.
See here, Black Dragon form already. Daytona's welcome does not connect to anyone. And Evos Glory manages to find the angle here. Base squad exposed, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game 3.
They did it! Evos Glory are a step closer of securing playoffs. They turned this storyline completely around, and they have another fighting chance to realize that dream, to make it come happen.
The Ling Gods, Annabelle, though.
Still 100%.
Still 100% on the Ling. Up against a Baratz, no purple buff so many times. The team adjusted. Yu Zhong played the sacrificial role. Fluffy gave every single minion in the side lane towards Annabelle, and Annabelle played it crisp, clean towards the top side of the map, clearing out these slow pushes built up by Cars. Straight into the Lord he goes, and utilizing the chaos as an assassin to assassinate the back line, to assassinate the Lord as well. And gee, that Ling is scary. You take away the purple buff, you think you take away Annabelle. Turns out you don't.
Reminds you of who? Reminds you of Kyrie.
What?
It reminds me of Annabelle. Just Annabelle.
Just Annabelle.
Because you would expect with that much pressure in the jungle that he would be, what, 2-3 levels behind of the Barats? But no, he was always either equal or just a little bit less, 1 level.
what I'm saying, right? Kyrie also on the lane.
I think I've seen Kyrie under pressure and then not make it.
Glimpses of Kyrie, but we'll never be full on Kyrie.
For now, we'll see, ladies and gentlemen, if Annabelle can
So
continue
brutal.
that road, because he is still a young jungler. This is his first
Very young.
season in MPL Indonesia.
Must
So much
be
potential
16,
already.
17
I think he is the youngest player in MPL
Yeah.
IND season 13.
at the moment.
Wow.
16 or 17.
16 or 17. I think maybe
I
16.
think he just turned 17.
17. Okay, so just turned 17.
Yeah.
Shout outs to KB though, because he said he made a line. He said a line, I think 2 weeks ago, after Annabelle popped off on the lane the first time. He's like, believe me, or wait, what did he? Wait, he basically said like, Evos, they're never in shortage of good junglers. They always find a new replacement that does better than the previous one. Juan, Fairsick, Taz, Sutsujin, Annabelle.
Van.
Annabelle. Anyways, let's take a look at the player of the game here. 6'4" and 3. Weakness Finder. We have the Fatal as well, and the Season Hunter.
Whoa.
And the build. Okay, wait. Man sold. Wait, you're right. Okay, he does. That's actually a Kyrie build here. That's actually the Kyrie build towards
you.
the end of the game. He had the Berserker's Fury, Haas Claws, and the Malefic Roar. When did he sell the Haas Claws? I think it's for the Immortality. But he goes for Endless Battle and the BOD. With this build, this is what we are used to seeing from Kyrie when he uses the Ling. It's purely focused on the Defiant Blades, and that's why he was able to burst Swaylo down like he was nothing in that signature pose of his, man, Annabelle. That's how much I care when you take my purple buff.
That's a lot.
What? I don't think that's what he means, but I think that means little?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is that considered little?
I mean,
I think so.
Oh. You know, I don't know. I guess.
depends, right?
Depends.
Can't be massive.
But I've seen Lings build GDS.
Yeah.
When they go for GDS, what are they playing for?
You get extra move speed when you ult, so technically it's more of preference, I would say. Either you go for more damage or more mobility. I would say in this game, when you need to carry, you need to go for more damage, and that's what Mr. Annabelle does early on in the game. He got shut down. This is a good read by Vincent, by the way, popping the Detonus Welcome and getting the lead. So let's dissect the comeback from Evos Glory, because it just doesn't look like it's comebackable usually when you're already this far behind. When the XP and mid can take your purple buff away, can kill you in your own jungle, that should automatically usually be a win for Rebellion. But this is it. This is the Rebellion classic late game macro weakness that we said, and this is not even late game, so that's why it gets even more scary for Rebellion, because they are blundering so early in the game when they have a massive lead. They could have had Cars. At that point, Annabelle was still behind. Cars is ahead. At this point, I guess Annabelle is just way too ahead, and Brands also read that situation. But when the first Lord fight happened, Cars cleared out the top lane. I expected him to stay there while the rest of Rebellion constantly threatened the Lord. That will force Annabelle to clear it out, 1v1 Cars, and at that point, I am 90% sure Annabelle won't be able to 1v1 Cars during that first Lord. He has a Vengeance, right? And it's a CC snowballing CC. It's a snowball man CC. But Rebellion, they literally just saw their lead and said, nah, we'd win without a lead. And then they got, just like the man who said that, they died.
I just didn't like a lot of the decision makings coming in from Rebellion. Like, what was Swaylo doing in that bush?
Feeling
alone?
Sans.
Yeah, but like, if you're on a Lilia, I think it makes a little bit more sense. There's more like utility. You can get out of those really tight spots. But on a Valentina, did he have Flicker? Was he on the Flicker? Yeah, he was on the Flicker. Did he have Flicker? Did he flicker out and still get caught? I mean, that was a 1v4 situation. It's just so iffy. It feels like Rebellion had total control and they just completely let it slip through their fingers.
It's a nah, I'd win moment, right? He just said that, dies, and then unfortunately, Rebellion, they weren't able to get that 2-0 miracle victory against Evos Glory. Yeah, I have to agree though. This is technically what we were talking about earlier backstage with, you know, KB as well. Their late game macro is questionable. And to see it this early in the game, this wasn't even late game, so they were not even pressured. They could take their time. Imagine late game when they can take their time. They're pressured to make just one decision. Oh, that blunder was quite massive, and this will play into the last game. the momentum on Evos Glory side, they were able to come back. Comeback victories, that momentum that you have is crazy. And we'll see if Rebellion can completely reset from that, because from the itemization as well, there's nothing too crazy here for the side of Rebellion. There's nothing too crazy for the side of Evos as well. It's literally just a standard build for everyone. And Brand sold his boots for a win of nature in the end, respected the physical damage that came through, and like we said, by the way, not peak Brands could melt the front line. He got the Holy Crystal. What
Whoa.
front line?
Wait, sorry. Rich guy Annabelle 928
Yeah.
GPM? With
Because
how
of Kyrie.
pressured he was?
And
That's not normal.
Nope.
we mentioned in the drafts as well, right? With Ling, you can pressure every lane, right? Top, bot, and composition from Rebellion. There's no real answer to the split push potential, to the far lane push potential that Evos Glory has with Natan, with Ling. And it just showed. It was really evident that Rebellion Esports were always on the back foot regarding the minion waves.
I disagree. I think this comp was really good for Rebellion. It was just a big throw from them. They had the game in their bag. Annabelle would not be able to 1v1 cars in the side with that much of a lead being on the hands of Rebellion, and a Vengeance as well. Annabelle had no chance in that 1v1, unless obviously Claw could rotates, but then that's a free Lord to Rebellion. That's why they could have just played it slow. They had the waves building up as well. Annabelle had to go up top to clear the wave and then rotate back to Lord. It was just misplays from Rebellion. But also well played to Evos for seeing those misplays and capitalizing.
Definitely. 920 GPM.
920.
That's
Well, I guess-
almost a gold laner. I mean, gold laner.
Exactly. That's not a... Once upon a time, there was a Blue Bull who was able to get game number 1 in a best of 3 series. They were looking very strong in game number 2, but then the White Tiger. That was so brutal.
It's a one. It's still 1-1 though.
It is.
To be fair.
It is.
So not as brutal. So maybe
So just 1-1.
it's like boom.
Boom, the punch
It's
back.
just
Yeah.
aggressive. But if a bull were to fight in real life with a tiger, who would win?
Depends. Multiple bulls or one
Just
bull?
1v1.
I think the tiger should win that.
Tiger wins?
Does the tiger have limbs?
I think if the tiger had gold,
Oh. That would be unfair.
definitely.
He would
Bling
win.
bling.
Yeah, exactly, right?
He would kill the bull with swag.
That's why I think we need gold.
Oh, we do
Because
have
we want
gold.
swag.
We have gold.
We do?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, it's not technically we don't have it now, but it's coming soon, very soon.
What is he talking about?
You don't know about the epic collaboration of UBS Gold x FPL Indonesia Season 13?
Oh, but it's not out yet.
Exactly. That's why we gotta wait. You know, good
Okay.
things come to those who wait, and we are very, very patient individuals, are we not? Except Gani. Gani can't wait. Bang bang. That's his name that LaFell gave him.
My character 2-3 seasons ago.
Okay.
M4.
He
M4.
changed his.
M4.
That's not his character anymore.
Oh, it's Gani can wait now. Bang bang.
Always.
He can always wait.
Always patient, bang bang.
Gani
But
always patient.
Gani always patient, bang bang. Where do I check out and find more information on this
Yeah.
UBS Gold collaboration?
UBSLifestyle.com is where to go, or UBS Lifestyle e-commerce. Check it out. It's still 1-1 though between Evos and Rebellion. Roar.
Whoa, is that an Evos prediction? Did you just roar? Oh, wait, Eterna. That might be a Rebellion prediction. He might have watched your video, your cast. Remember? Rebellion's.
Huh?
You know the content,
The-
the part where you were like, "Rrrr,"
That was
Rebellion.
for the Bulls.
Yeah, exactly. So that might be like a prediction to Evos or Rebellion.
Oh.
Why don't you just do a meow,
Should have
Gani?
done that game 1.
What?
Oh. Why don't you do it now? Who's gonna win?
No,
Oh,
they can't. They have to work hard. They can't always rely on me.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I think Aura relies on you, because for some reason they
Right?
actually
That was
win.
so weird.
When Eterna casts, Aura suddenly win. They won 2-0 against Evos, but when you
lost.
don't cast, they lose their jam, man.
I thought that was really weird too.
Are
We'll see
you?
tomorrow.
Are you the shadow analyst of Aura?
We'll see tomorrow.
Good luck,
So
Charm.
when I'm analyzing,
GLC.
GLC.
so when I'm analyzing, they lose.
No, they win. They win when you're here.
No, but if I'm casting, I can't be an analyst.
Who says that? Does Audi say that? Because he's #1 right now.
Oh, 42 total assists and a team fight participation of 92.8%.
That's
Can you
wild.
imagine? 92, that's almost 100.
That's true. That's absolutely true. That's almost 100, technically almost 95, almost 93, 92.8, right?
Wow.
This guy has been on a roll this season, not just in-game, but out-game too. He's been trash-talking, and me personally, Audi, you're a W human being. Keep trash-talking. We want to hear it. That's usually why I actually root for Rebellion. I want to see him in the interviews. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten an interview with Rebellion for a while now, and last time he said he's Lucky Teasy. He's not Audi Teasy anymore. He's just lucky.
Yeah. Kind of lost that spark. I think he got a little bit pressured
Why?
by, you know, the netizens maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
No particular group, remember.
Netizens. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the conclusion. And we were talking
see.
about this during the break, right? So if Evos win 2-1, RRQ will be brought up to 6th place.
Yep. That is what will happen, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you guys are an RRQ fan, you want Rebellion to lose. But if you're an RRQ hater,
Hey,
you want Rebellion to win.
I am
What are you?
Rebellion lover. So let's see
Oh,
here
okay.
what will happen. So far, game 1, game 2, red side has been the victor.
Yeah.
So will the trend continue here in game 3 as Rebellion sits in the red side? But a shake-up already here in the first pick. Novaria taken away.
Huh. No Barretts.
Nope.
No Matilda. Matilda has not been touched
No.
this best of 3 series. They go for Novaria in the first phase. What's the idea? Why Novaria? Why is it so prio?
I think it's more of just how Evos play the game with Novaria, right? They have so much vision, and technically they can force these fights away for Rebellion with the vision control that they have with the Novaria. But obviously, the poke has been amazing, and honestly, the wave clear. Because technically, if you're Novaria, even in that game, there were ways for them to clear out that slow push without sending members. Novaria would just use Astral Recall, shoot the wave, and it will automatically build towards an Evos Glory slow push back. And now, remember that Terizla we were talking about instead of the Dairoth that they should have gone for in game number 1? Yeah, they read through that adjustment now. They've taken a Novaria and a Terizla, and they've locked in the Natan 3rd game in a row.
And wasn't it you that mentioned that Terizla is a good EXP laner if you want to use an assassin in the jungle like Ling?
Yeah. Are they setting up for it? On blue side, it's a bit harder to set up for it.
And it's looking very scary here for Rebellion because the range that Natan and Novaria has is actually very scary, right? So during setups, during whatever, it's going to be very scary. But it seems like Rebellion will bring out a chip here in the last game. Carmilla should be banned here in the second phase.
Yeah.
It's do or die, man. I was like looking at Rebellion. I'm like, I'm so down if you guys pull up a cheese strat right now. And so the chip does come through in the first phase.
Not the cheese though.
Not yet.
Chip.
Oh.
Just the chip.
Just a chip, no cheese just yet. Hopefully they had some toppings there because the chip will be quite stale if you don't add. Oh, actually, no, chips are really good.
I like chips on their own.
Yeah.
You're right.
R7, you know, a lot of people are calling R7 Chip
Why?
because he likes to eat chips while watching MPLID in his watch party, and he leans back on his chair, so it looks like the pose that Chip does, you know, like he's just leaning back, eating chips.
Oh.
Shout out to R7 if he's all of a sudden watching the English desk, but oh, Yeef! Wow.
Suelo's pick.
It's a Suelo special.
SS.
But for Rebellion, do they want to eliminate that possibility? Do they want to go for an alpha ban? Do they want to go for a Ling ban? What's their best course of action here?
Yeah, choose your poison, right? Technically, oh, this is a bit tough. I think that, that's a really good question, man. Let's choose your poison, really, because I can see ways where the Ling and the Alpha can work. I think the Alpha is a bit more reliable. You know, Ling does require a bit more skill.
And it's good against the Barretts.
It's, yeah, oh, but they don't think so. They think, you know what? Get this guy out of here. Get this guy out. He's too good. Ling ban for RBL.
Right. So Alpha is open. Do you think it's 100% Alpha picked up? Because Fredman is still on the board.
Faramis pick. Can Rebellion still go for a Faram? Is Faramis good in the mid lane?
It's pretty good, actually, if you actually want to dive as well up against Evos Glory's composition that wants to
With
front
the
to back.
chip as well?
Yeah. When you teletport, Netherrealm, right?
Exactly.
Usually you can try to punish, but with the Faramis, technically you'll have that too. No Valentina, no Novari, or sorry, no Yve, and technically no Novaria as well. Yeah, the Faramis can work here. The Valentina ban will actually kind of help Rebellion, but Evos already have picked Novaria, so they couldn't have gone Valentina either way.
But they could go Faramis, Novaria, Rome.
Oh!
Because that
That's
Valentina
true.
ban is weird.
That's true. That's actually really true. I think the last time we saw a Faramis Rome, or a Faramis mid and a Novaria Rome, it was Drian, if I'm not mistaken. Akito gets locked in first, so they want to try to react to whatever Evos has in stored for Rebellion. If they go for the Faramis, I think Rebellion might go for the Lilia. They might just go for full damage here and out-damage Evos Glory.
The coach from Coach Age, a comment from Coach Age. So far, after the loss, the players' vibe is still positive, but maybe there were minor and major mistakes that happened against Aura. But there you go, Alpha and Minotaur.
Wow, this is a very scary composition here because, again, Minion Fury, massive crowd control. It's a very good response if the chip uses the shortcut as well. And again, Alpha, just a very good initiator, acting initiator as well. Combined with Terizla, a lot of ground control and a lot of damage here in the Evos' composition.
And technically, Faramis would be such a bad pick, right, against that composition, but
Okay.
wait. A Farsa.
Last time we saw the Farsa, it was
I
quite
don't
recent.
know if I like it.
Yehezkill went to become Yehezkilled on the Farsa. Let's see if Suelo can change the odds of the Farsa, because this comp from Evos, they do not have a lot of dive. The only guy technically who can really dive to the back would be Terizla with a Flicker penalty zone. It would be quite readable for RBL. We'll
So
just have to see how it works.
you think-
It's a skill matchup.
So there's a chance
There's a chance,
that this Farsa could work.
and there's a chance that this Farsa could be the reason they lose too, just like Aura yesterday.
And there's definitely a chance for RRQ to be able to still make it to the playoffs if Rebellion let go of this win. Evos are one more game away of securing the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. The crowd is going wild here at MPL Arena from both parties, and we are just going to go straight into it. Everything is on the line. Everything has been put to the test. Both teams are put into a corner, and they will be seen for their quality and their determination and their intelligence in game number 3. Let's take a look.
Great game between these two teams. See here again with the Farsa.
Straight off the bat.
Sway low.
I think
was wrong.
looking at the emblem straight off the bat, it's the lethal weapon mastery. Ooh, for Sway Low, wanting to go for extra damage. D is, oh my lord, this is a snowballing comp for Rebellion. They really want that early game. They want to just go and plow through Evos. Everyone is a damage dealer except for Vincent and Audi. And technically Audi does a lot of base damage too with that concussive blast, so even Cars, he's gonna be going full damage, guys. That's a lethal ignition. Festival of Blood Rupture. If they don't win in the early game, it's gonna be tough for Rebellion.
So again, they're putting all their eggs in one basket, just like game number 2. It didn't work out for them. But maybe they've learned from those mistakes, those minor setbacks, those decision-making that eventually made Evos be able to come back. We'll see. They're putting a lot of pressure here in the EXP lane. Again, a debut pick for Suelo on the Farsa.
And not a good record for that Roger for D on that Roger. 2 losses already.
That's true. It has been mostly successes on Vincent, Roger, in the jungle compared to that gold lane. But let's see this level 4 power spike. it'll definitely be still more favored if they go for a full fight to Evos around this neutral objective. But if Cars pokes them down, that'll change.
4v4 in the turtle setup here. Evos Goring is on the poke on towards the turtle. Daytona's welcome. Does not connect. Vincent, though, will connect at the retreat. Good knock up. Hey, take a look at the chain CC built up. But the damage is there for Rebellion as Sway Low collects the double. Money, money, money.
1v3. And remember, oh, that was close.
What?
Wait, what?
Bronze isolated. Vincent Cars is there. Now Clockman looking to provide cover, but Cars.
Oh my.
Portal?
Killing machine.
Brans walked into the portal that was left there.
Oh.
Brans walked into his own death. Oh no, that's not what you want to see.
Was it a miscom?
It was just, he just moved towards it. He just didn't notice it. Oh, I want to replay.
I want to replay.
What? Brans.
Let's see though. 1,500 gold lead already.
Oh, that's so sad, man, because again, that just gave Rebellion so much more pressure. He was getting a really good lane in the bottom lane. Oh my lord, that could not have been worse for Evos. They lost 3 and they lost Brand, so make it 4. That the Tom needs to scale. Oh my god, now they're just bullying in the enemy jungle. Audi puts a shortcut.
Take a look at Fluffy here. Looking for perhaps his grab more space. Vincent still. Oh, Daytona's welcome. On towards One. Dreams is there to provide the cover as well. Now Audi jumps on towards the stun, but it's going to be 1-for-1. Both the EXP and the jungler here will be taken out.
I'm still so speechless after that play.
Me too.
What? How does that happen?
Oh, that was so unfortunate, man. But now you can see the level diff for D. And he is quite ahead. This lane is already favored towards the Roger, so if D continues this pace and Rebellion continue this pace as well, the next turtle will be major in favor for Rebellion.
And technically, with the fact that Rebellion have opted for the Pharsa, despite how vulnerable a Pharsa is, that burst damage in the early game has really done them favors in these team fights. The fact that it's also very high mobility, using the wings by wings to roam around the map, can utilize it as well to get into the best corners to open up that feather airstrike. They found so much value out of it so far, and we've actually seen it as being one of the key reasons that they're able to win out in these team fights. Because earlier on, Annabelle was a level ahead, still unable to get that turtle.
Not able to because of the crazy skirmishes that Rebellion can pull off, basically. Evos needs to be worried about this. Even though they have the control, Munion's Fury.
Connecting, but does not connect really, but it will grab space. Oh, what happened to the bottom side of the map? It is actually feathered airstrike in combination of D, taking Brands down for the second time of the game. Now Audi is there with a shortcut. Now Dreams needs to be careful because 3-on-1 now. Crash course! Enough damage, definitely. Another kill on the board.
So you can see Rebellion. Oh, wait a minute. Fluffy.
Fluffy's there, perhaps to find the clear, but Vincent also teleports. All members of Rebellion actually commits on towards the bottom side, but Fluffy calmly will clear the minion.
So back to the earlier point, what I wanted to address is the fact that Rebellion have changed their playstyle, right? Earlier on, they were more focused on Annabelle, but now you can see that they're understanding the monster that, wait a minute, Brands again!
This is why they picked up the Pharsa, killing pressure towards Brands.
And he is feeling that pressure, and that was maybe the mistake that Rebellion made in game number 2, not doing the shutdown, not putting pressure on Brands, not trying to hinge out that late game power spike that he is inevitable to.
Oh my lord. All right, so it's all about denying Brands here in the early game, and so far they've been able to do it so well. Getting him out of the lane, and look, he doesn't know where to go at this point. He can't go to the mid lane. Well, technically he can, but he'll have to be swapping or trading gold. Sharing is the right word. With the Novaria, he does finally get a wave there in the bottom lane after the turret has been taken, but this is all going to plan for Rebellion. They've taken the bottom lane turret, and this would most likely be a swap into the mid lane, maybe into up top in the XP lane to go for more turrets and to just fight out these neutral objectives.
the adjustment, right? It's been crazy to see, and I think
Oh no.
the Blue Bulls, they're so reliant on global presence, if you notice. In game number 2, they didn't really feel it because they were utilizing the Angela as a global presence, but against the Ling, it was a little bit difficult. Game number 1, they had Moskov. Game number 3, they now have Chip. So that macro play that we saw lacking in game number 2 has now been accomplished because of the presence of Audi TZ on the Chip. And now they're going to start pressuring for this neutral objective. Annabelle is level 11, so he's ahead of Vincent. Should be able to win out in these retry battles, but we'll see the setup.
See, as the light goes cross screen. Good stun, Daytona's welcome. Annabelle though will calmly secures the turtle. Now, good minion fury, and take a look at the crowd control from Evos Glory. With the collapse as well, actually find the dino, and Evos Glory will have more say in that last turtle fight.
Well played to Evos. Super decisive. Dreams in the front, forcing Vincent to use the Detona's welcome or be knocked up by the minion's fury. And then Annabelle.
Oh, let's see. Cars now on the front side, it's taking heat. Evos Glory, oh my goodness, the isolation. Cars nowhere to run. And Evos will grab that kill, no problem. Take a look at the bottom side of the map though. Roger looking to grab another structure perhaps, and D, yeah, will grab that, no problem.
Gets it, and it looks like he might be getting the next buff as well. D, can he do it?
I think so.
There you go. So they're going to be able to take that away, but it does get traded up with the structure up top for Evos. And the funny thing was, as everything was unfolding with all that chaos from Annabelle and the damage coming through, Brent was in the back, killing the portal.
Yeah.
He's like, not again!
Not again. No, I will not walk in there anymore. He learns from his mistakes, right? I think that's a good point here as Evos continue to weather the storm of Rebellion, and they're doing a good job at weathering the storm here. It was a 3.4k gold lead, but this is why the Novaria, I guess, is so prio for Evos Glory. They're always able to find the vision on Rebellion whenever they want to look for an ambush, whenever they want to try to force a fight, and it makes it very easy to read for Evos Glory. With those hitboxes also enlarged, the dive comes in way more naturally for Evos. Usually the Spear of Alpha it'll be kind of hard to actually dive towards the back with a frontliner in front. But with those hitboxes, technically Annabelle was able to hit Sway Low quite easily, getting the double CC on with the Spear of Alpha, connecting onto Vincent and Sway Low and taking him down. That gold lead now down to just 600. So Rebellion, we spoke of how they are very one-dimensional this game. They're looking for that early to mid snowball. If they get that, it's going to be hard for Evos, but if they don't, the clock's ticking. The clock's ticking real quick because the gold lead is only down to 1k.
But they have a contingency. They have cars. Remember what they were able to pull off with cars on the Paquito.
Yeah, against Onyx.
Mm-hmm. It's a big scar for you, I think.
Not really. Oh yeah, sure. But yeah, I mean, 1.2k. And Rebellion, I feel like they're being too passive now, right? Sure, you will not pull the trigger unless you're really sure, but you're just being so passive. Is this the right call?
But look at Swalo. Look at his positioning right now.
I think it is okay to stay this passive for now. They still have a 1.4k gold lead. Yes, the clock is ticking, but it's still the 11th minute. It's still within their realm. It's still within their power spike. So they want to take as much time as possible to utilize the portals that Mr. Man Audi TZ can place down. Mr. Man. Because that's really how they've been able to get that 3.4k gold lead as well. Through the macro advantage. So the Paquito continuously just clears up top. Vincent continuously plays around the Lord. They should be able to look for a leeway perhaps. But it seems like Evos are using this so well. Entropy? Okay.
Swalo is playing a dangerous game.
With Annabelle there, hovering around. But yeah, here, both teams,
Wait,
no trigger pulled yet.
so Brand Starlium Scythe straight into Divine Glaive again. So he's on his second item, nowhere near ready yet.
Third.
Third.
Yeah.
What's his first item?
Feather of Heaven. Starlium Scythe, and then...
Okay.
Oh, offside, Fluffy. Oh, that's a knockup. Wow, but no follow-up damage. Now
Survives!
D is on a hunt. He smells blood, but Vincent on the other side of the map. Actually, the first one to fall. Fluffy's the trade. And take a look at now, Evos Glory. Going up against Rebellion, who has no jungler, will commit on towards the Lord. But Annabelle surely secures it. Now take a look at this. Rebellion actually wants to fight Annabelle now. Loses mortality. But D, oh my goodness. He was the one taken down. Annabelle finds a shutdown.
So unfortunate
What
for
happened?
the Blue Bulls. A 2-for-2 trade. They had to lose Vincent in the process. Vincent got caught despite Rebellion already making that call to commit fully onto Fluffy. And Fluffy was still able to kite out of that engage. Imagine 4 versus 1 by time. And it just fell from there.
The delay by Fluffy buying so much time to make Rebellion later than they even should be. Vincent also, you said it, a turn up, dying after the call. And this might just be it for Evos. They have weathered the storm and they have gone to their own power spikes. Annabelle, level 15, 2 levels ahead on the Alpha. Evos are knocking on the doors of Rebellion's base.
That feather airstrike though. Let's see here, Rebellion trying to hold on that top base here. It seems like firepower will be enough, surely, to take it to almost to a 1 HP. Rebellion though will still keep all of their base turrets. Also, interestingly enough, Tier 1 and Tier 2 bottom side of the map
Yeah.
still stands.
Cars doing work.
What is Cars doing there though? Now, is he just focusing on pushing that lane? Does he want to go for a 1v1 against Fluffy? Does he win in that 1v1 against Fluffy?
I'll take a look at the items to answer that question. Fluffy doesn't have any damage. He does have a lot of defenses though. Leather Jerkin, Steel Leg Plates, and the Anti-Cuirass. For the Paquito. Oh, wow. He's doing fine himself, man. Hunter Strike, Malefic Roar, and the Heptasis. I think he should be able to hold his own. But can he solo kill Fluffy? I don't think it'll get to a point where he'll be able to solo kill Fluffy, because Fluffy will probably just clear the wave, back away, clear the wave, back away, and Cars won't be able to stop him from clearing the wave and backing away. So it's kind of a stalemate in the bottom lane.
Shortcuts. Seems like Evos will have space to deny the commitment from Rebellion here. Still gold-wise, 1,500 gold lead to the White Tigers. Rebellion, they are holding on now.
D was able to get a tower in the top side because Evos were tunnel visioning on Paquito, I think. They're looking for a pick onto Paquito before they go in for the engage. And so they were able to get a little bit of value in the top side of the map. You can see Fluffy also rotating towards this side too to try and push for it. But for the most part, despite them being able to get that value, Evo still hold this map control. Annabelle level 15. Okay, Vincent's also level 15. At 15 minutes, when we're talking about this next Lord Dance, what are we expecting in a full 5v5?
Expect Evos to dominate, actually, because that's really what they can do at this point of the game. They have weathered the storm so well, unless this is the core win condition for Rebellion. If somehow Cars gets a good flank, Vincent eats Annabelle, and D cleans up, Rebellion can actually win. But that is a very specific way to win. They can try to split and isolate Evos up with the Paquito in the bottom lane. Technically, they're already going for 1v1 there. Cars buys a rose gold. Turns out Fluffy actually wins out in the 1v1 so far in the trade, so they don't even have that with them. Audi.
Oh my god, Audi jumping in, Dreams with cover. Oh, shortcut actually. Now Sway Low investing the feathered airstrike. Rebellion now move back as resources already popped left and right. Evos Glory does not pull the trigger yet though on the Lord. Take a look at Fluffy here. It's technically a 5v4. And now Evos Glory, they're capitalizing, clearing the waves and now owning the Lord.
They don't have the resources to do this.
New Fury on towards two, and Annabelle collects the kill. Dreams loses the mortality, but take a look at Browns here, in trouble as D, able to secure him down. No, Lord secures all towards the Evil
Cars?
side. need the shutdown. Cars finding the win in a 2v2. Now Sway low, wings by wings, aggressively looking for the kill perhaps, as Audi will not be able to assist. 3 members taken out.
They use so many resources. It turns out it might have just been a bait. Rebellion have baited Evos into going for the kill, and now they are capitalizing left and right. Fluffy and Clockun are still available, and the Lord was secured by the White Tigers, so it doesn't look like they can go for the end.
This is the right call though. Let's see Fluffy and Clockun looking to punish, as the Lord will be taken care of. Rebellion, very good decision there in clearing the Lord and taking the base turret top lane.
Brands goes for the Blood Wings. I understand here he needs to get a bit more shielding towards the back, but man, his decision to go for Blood Wings instead of Wind of Nature actually costed them almost the game. Luckily, Annabelle, as clean as ever, was able to secure the neutral objective and deny that from Rebellion. But the advantage that Evos had there, it just wasn't seen because of how they took the fight. They need to play in a very, very organized front to back. Rebellion, we said it, if they can somehow flank in the back, get Annabelle in a place where he cannot use the Spear of Alpha to peel, then they can actually win these team fights. And RBL, they found the precise maneuver to make that fight happen. Brands was isolated, and he had no Wind of Nature. D was actually hovering over him. I think D thought he had Wind of Nature. That's why he was like hesitant to fully go in, but then he found out and he's like, all right, I guess I'll take Brands, and then they continue the fight. But expect Brands to sell that boots, the tough boots, for the Wind of Nature very, very soon, because it's not just D that he has to be worried about. Cars can one-tap him too. He can just 1-2, jab and straight and take him out.
But can you expect that same maneuver twice? Right, because that was on the back of the play of Audi TZ on the chip. In the back line, being able to pick up Cars as well with a portal. But don't you think that at this point, Evos would smell it coming?
The later the game goes, the more chaotic these team fights can be, Eterna, and that's why I think actually the chances of that happening grows because of how much map pressure Rebellion have gotten despite them being behind for the last 2 minutes or last 5 minutes. Because they were able to pick up the turrets in the bottom lane. That's another opening for them to flank all the way from bot. Now they need to take care of that mid turret. If they can somehow destroy tier 1 and tier 2 in the mid lane, that gives them even more maneuvers to actually look for the flanks. So yeah, it'll be a skill matchup. Again, both of these teams will try their best for Evos to keep it organized for RBL to make it messy. But it all depends on how they set up for it.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, everything really does hang in the balance of this match. Evos need this. They need to win this particular game to win this match in order for them to make it to the playoffs. So imagine the pressure that not just Evos are going through, but also Rebellion on the other hand.
Yeah. 20 minutes in, the longest game in the series, right? It was 15, it was 16 on the second and third game. Got a bashing 20 minutes. It's fine, and poking here already. Poking, especially D here, poking the Lord. It's a great benefiting Rebellion, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good slow push that Cars has in the bottom lane, and he's continuously just playing with it. And this is what they need to do. At this point, there's no more scaling. Everybody is almost at full items. We're almost getting to that 60k gold mark as well for RBL. You can expect everybody to be at full items. Brands has used the entropy. Bottom lane pushing will be the key for RBL. Play it slow, because top side will be even with 2 of the base turrets already taken down. Those super minions will be clashing together. It'll all come down to how RBL can bait Evos to be messy. Right now, it doesn't even look like it's possible despite having the Paquito. Terizla, Fluffy's been doing a great job of just screening, and now he's cutting too, which is really, really good. It's risky, but at this point of the game, I don't even think it's risky anymore. Really good build by A-Man. Shoutouts to Fluffy, Queen's Wings. So if RBL send more members down there to deal with him, it's an easy Lord for Evos, an easy Lord fight at least. And if Fluffy continues to do this, RBL's advantage kind of gets nullified. We're at a stalemate.
I'm just watching Brands go back and forth. I'm watching the chip. My eyes are locked on these heroes, right? And there it goes. Chip is gone.
It's going to the top side here, providing cover. Potentially. Lord will be resetted. 22 minutes here, clock run. Opening vision as well here. Nobody pulling the trigger yet. You can see here, all ultimates and all spells are up.
So Audi TZ doesn't go for that backdoor play that he went in for earlier. Meanwhile, Fluffy and D are caught. They know where Fluffy is, but Audi TZ on the other side.
Flickers out. That's already a resource wasted. In Evos Glory, they will tone it out again. Very, very slow play here. Slow Lord dance between the two.
I think RBL have figured it out though. At this point, send 3 members down below, kill Fluffy, and then teleport to the Lord. But they need to reset this first. No, they're just going for D. Wait, D's going for it. Portal.
Let's see here, retreat battle, 9,000, 8,000. Who gets it? It's Vincent! And now Audi TZ will fall out of it. No immortality will be out of the map. Rebellion, they will pull the trigger, but take a look at the damage by Runs! Just re-hitting every member of Rebellion. Wind of Nature popped as well. He almost gets taken down there by the Sphere, and Evos Glory, they will find the right answer.
Again though, a 2-for-2 trade. But this time, Rebellion were able to secure this Lord in the palms of Vincent's Retribution. But with 3 members left standing, can Rebellion close this out with how much clear speed Brands already has?
Oh man, wait, Brands might have just made a mistake. He used the entropy in the mid lane. That's a window.
Let's see. Sway low, D and Cars looking to clear. Feather Airstrike invested early to poke Fluffy down. He has an immortality though. Lord baited towards the mid, not the Bane base. That will help with the clear, but Rebellion will be satisfied with taking 0 turrets. They'll have to be satisfied with jungles here. Should be the main targets for Rebellion. Whew.
Welcome to the Battle of the Blues. 24 minutes already has elapsed, and we still don't see an end to this. It can go either way.
Yeah, I thought with him using the entropy in mid, that would have been like a big gamble because he needs to clear the Lord too, but turns out that Natali game damage is enough to do just that. But yeah, Rebellion found the answer to their problem of that stalemate. They have the portals, but the mistake is, why did they go in after the Lord? Get the Lord, back off. That's all they need to do. They have the Lord, they can play with it. If Vincent was alive, he could have actually maybe threatened the end there, especially with Brands using the entropy in mid lane. But Rebellion decided to fight after that, and they were even hesitant to run away. Once you get the Lord evolved, back away, especially when you have a lot of members. Don't fight. Rebellion need to know that here. Discipline is the name of the game for these two teams at this point. You get so much of an advantage with the evolved Lord. Damage reduction when you're around it, and you can play with these waves, so at least, even if you don't get the end, get more turrets, base turrets that will lead to more advantages, that will lead to you having a smoother road for the next evolved Lord.
So it's still the same exact theme for Rebellion in game number 3. It's not as apparent, but it still lies there. But now the situation has changed. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lord is on the bottom side of the map, and Evos has lost their top side inhibitor turret. This should give Rebellion an advantage when it goes down to that stalemate, should it not?
Yeah, it should give I mean, right now, technically, it'll be the stalemate again. I think RBL have the advantage because of the teleports that they have. So technically, like I said before that Lord, they could send 3 members up top to deal with Fluffy, and then they could just portal up to the Lord. But I think Evos now know that. Oh, they go for it.
2-for-1, Fluffy finds the flicker, finds the penalty zone as well. For the delay, flickers out, and Fluffy will keep his immortality.
But that was a good decision making to back off as well, right? They're like, okay, we wasted too much time. We can't take him down. Let's get out. We tried it. We tried that 50-50. It didn't work out. And essentially, they don't lose anything for it either. Just some resources that should be up in time for their next clash.
Okay. Far lane advantage for Rebellion, though. Now up top. Oh!
Annabelle, still no immortality. Finally popped. No immortality popped there. Rebellion, they restabilize Dreams. Use the portal as well. And both teams are just hovering around looking for openings. Looking it on towards Dreams here. Still has immortality. Echo spots Sway low though. Fluffy smells blood. D needs to be careful, needs to reposition. But take a look at the minion Fury. The backside finds still Vincent and Sway low. Sway low. Feather Edge strike cancelled. Loses his immortality, but Brands again doing the basic attack, doing work. Annabelle finds one. Vincent falls as well. No retry for Rebellion. Call the ambulance as Rebellion needs it. Take a look at top lane. Cars trying to find the cheeky split. But Evos Glory, they snuffed it out.
Yeah, they forced Glocken back. And so Evos understood that they couldn't fully commit onto the fight. So Vincent and AudiTZ are gone, but the rest are still up and available. But this is going to be a Lord taken by Evos despite that far lane advantage.
Weren't able to utilize it, not at all. And Evos Glory, despite not having the teleports, the portals that can get them from up top to the Lord, despite not having the super minion wave up top in the far lane, they've been able to fight through it all, and now they're sieging Rebellion's base down.
Feather Airstrike already used up here. Look at D versus Fluffy in the mid. Evos Glory though will be able to find the bottom side of the base here at Rebellion. What will they do to defend this Lord? This might be the final push. Evos Glory pushing with 5, looking to grab space. Oh, take a look at Cars here, being the sandbag, but take a look at all the resources being put up. Browns finds a shutdown as he is on a free hit. With Destruction, Immortality pops as everything will be enough as Evos Glory will find the reverse sweep against the Blue Bulls.
Welcome to playoffs, Evos Glory. What a journey that they have been through. A Cinderella story for themselves. Remember, this lineup, like we mentioned before, it came from minus in the standings. They didn't even start from 0. They started from minus. And they will be the next team to secure the playoffs. GG, WP.
The protagonist run for Evos Glory continue. -4. Eterna said it. This roster started with all the odds stacked against them, with them having to perform to replace the previous lineup, and they've done it. They've secured playoffs. All the pressure, all the emotions, all the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears from the coaching staff to the management to the players. The glory in their name, now the glory in their game.
It's gonna be a tough ride for the Blue Bulls here. They are not eliminated from playoffs just yet. But again, it makes their ride that much harder.
It was a convincing first game for the Blue Bulls. Shaky second game. But in the third game, it just wasn't enough. The White Tigers still able to be the...
You can see the disappointment in their faces as well. Swalo, AudiTZ, they had a chance. It was there. It was right in front of their eyes. They could have gotten a 2-0. And Evos reverse sweep them. That's not an easy feat to pull off. And being in their shoes right now, it must be a tough loss for them. But they do still have tomorrow.
They do. Up against Geek Fam will be their final hope to try to make it to playoffs. The Blue Bulls with the White Tigers this time. The Blue Bros, as we call them in Season 13, and the fans are loving it. The glorious White Tigers are going to playoff. The roars from the Evos fams.
Is he gonna be escorted out of the building again?
Is the cameraman gonna smack him again?
Oh wow. I'm actually excited to see what Evos have to say about that best of 3. That was so intense. Like even the audience, they were feeling it. They were screaming on top of their lungs because at that point, I think anybody would have just written Evos off by game number 2. But remember, they always used to say, always watch an Evos game until they finish. Because they were able to come back very incredibly in game number 2. So ladies and gentlemen, let's take an interview with the victors. Bude Clara Mongstar, take it away.
Pada akhirnya tiket keempat playoff season 13 jatuh ke tangan Evos Glory. Playoff di sini.
Playoff di sana.
Asik banget nih. Akhirnya Evos. Setelah kalian mungkin story yang cukup panjang. Minggu lalu sebenarnya bisa masuk playoff, tapi kali ini, momen ini kalian mendapatkannya. Bagaimana pada akhirnya kalian bisa ngedapetin playoff?
Coach Waldo mau ngomong?
Apa tadi Bude?
Gimana kalian kan, mungkin kalau dari coach, Bude bakal nanya beda nih, lebih rumit. Karena semua orang penasaran, Evos atau kalian line up ini hadir pada saat posisi 9. Di pucuk bawah, bukan pucuk atas. Di dasar klasemen dan pada akhirnya kalian menjadi tim keempat yang masuk babak playoff. Gimana tuh dari perjalanan kalian?
Kalau perjalanannya sih ya main aja kita kayak biasa lah. Karena kan memang kita dari papan bawah banget kan ya. Lebih bilang kayak ya udah kita fokus untuk menang. Ya kalau rezeki dari Tuhan kita dikasih menang ya mungkin itu jalannya dan tetap kita kan nggak keluar dari permainan tim juga sama ada dalam game tuh udah pasti ada namanya hoki juga lah. Mungkin ini hoki dari Tuhan buat kita untuk kita berjuang untuk di playoff.
Yes, melanjutkan kehokiannya Kak. Namun di minggu lalu tuh kalian selangkah lagi gitu ya. Minggu lalu tuh ada apa? What happened minggu lalu?
Nge-lag Bude.
Nge-lag.
Iya kan mainnya pada nggak benar. Kalau kata orang kan ngasih menang ke Aura, padahal mah enggak, emang kitanya aja yang lagi jelek banget mainnya.
Apakah karena pressure? Oke, satu menang lagi guys. Apakah ada pikiran itu dari player-playernya?
Nggak tahu sih, tapi harusnya ada dari akunya juga ada waktu itu.
Terbawa pressure untuk satu
Iya.
menang lagi.
Iya mungkin.
Dan hari ini kayaknya nggak ada ya beban seperti itu.
Nggak ada sih.
Gimana cara kalian membawa mungkin kita ngelihat dari Evos gimana cara kalian biar nggak kebawa pikiran tuh.
Ya kalau aku sih tadi di backstage ngomong ke anak cuman anggap match ini adalah final. Jadi kalau lu menang lu juara gitu.
Dan mereka menang, mereka bisa masuk playoff dan bisa berjuang untuk juara.
Benar Bude.
Wow, namun di sini juga menarik ya dari Evos. Permainan kalian, apalagi di match kali ini, itu pada deg-degan semua sih. Menangnya menang comeback, early-nya di porak-poranda dulu. Ada apa ini? Kalian early-nya memang sesantai itu kah?
Ya main santai aja, chill kata Navel tadi.
Chill. Lalu late game gimana kalian mengatasi?
Late game baru, gas.
Ngegas, melawan Rebellion di duo biru. Kenapa sampai kalian early-nya tuh kayak susah banget?
Ya namanya permainan Bude kadang gak seperti yang kita ekspektasikan. Jadi ya kita tetap berjuang yang terbaik aja pas di in game, fokus cara balikin gamenya kayak gimana.
Cara balikin gamenya itu tadi Fluffy ya? Main-mainnya kejauhan kayaknya tuh ya. Jauh banget. Gimana cara kamu untuk ngebaca mungkin memainkan landingmu dan ngebuat Rebellion kewalahan?
Emang hero-nya aja sih kayak gak tahu dah, gak tahu.
Kenapa nih?
Apa bude? Oh.
Gimana tadi kamu caranya menghalau Rebellion dan bahkan nge-comebackin dengan gerakan-gerakanmu mungkinkah?
Gerakan teman-teman sih bilang Regi udah bawah aja terus push jauh aja. Kalau digas gak bakal mati kok itu hero.
Jadi teman-teman udah memang satu visi dengan kamu juga ya?
Ya.
Dan ngebawa. Mungkin game kedua kalian menang comeback juga gak sih? Mana yang paling mendebarkan? 2, 3, gimana yang paling kalian, waduh greget.
Navel mau jawab nih.
Yang mana Navel pas kamu pakai link?
3 sih, 3.
Kenapa tuh pas game 3?
Gamenya hampir setengah jam kan itu.
Yes, lama banget.
Ya, dari 3 match itu yang paling lama kan.
Oh gitu, jadi paling mendebarkan buat kamu. Dan kalau game lama itu ngaruh nggak sih sama mungkin kondisi tim?
Soalnya kalau mati kan Bude hidupnya lama. Gue bilang aja buat Indomie aja boy kalau mati mulu itu bang.
Oh.
Ya, pop mie. Ya buat pop mie aja.
Buat pop mie.
Salah
Trit,
maaf.
Ulangin.
Salah jemput kali ini.
Yang tadi di-cut. Ulangin. Apa tadi gimana kalau late game?
Kan kalau kalau late game hidupnya tuh lama. Bisa seduh pop mie dulu lah.
Oh gitu. Jadi memang harus lebih
Sambil
hati-hati.
main ITL.
Sambil main. Dan emang ya di sini Evos ngedapetin babak playoff. Namun perjalanan mereka bisa dibilang naik turun. Gimana kalian ada yang mau curhat kah perjalanan kalian di babak regular season ini?
Klaukun dari mukanya kelihatan banget.
Mau curhat gak sih Klaukun? Cerita dikit gitu.
Klaukun udah banyak kayak bendem banget.
Ayo dong. Kasih sepatah kata mungkin maybe Theo
Ayo Klau.
or Klaukun.
Selby.
Ada gojok.
Boleh Anabel.
Season ini berdarah-darah sih Bude.
Yes,
buat kami.
kenapa tuh?
Berdarah-darah ini. Beneran dari ranking 9 kan kita. Jadi ya udah. Makasih yang udah dukung Evos.
Makasih yang udah dukung Evos. Meranjak naik dari posisi 9. Berdarah-darah posisi keempat. Menjadi tim keempat. Mungkin ini saatnya kita mendengarkan sesuatu dari Evos. Untuk babak playoff kalian. Mungkin untuk semua supporter yang ada di sini. Yang mungkin sempat meragukan Evos. Ada yang mau kalian sampaikan? Siapa nih?
Pesan buat di playoff.
Boleh.
Kalau untuk playoff ya karena kita udah berhasil step satunya, ya step 2 pasti adalah dari staff dan player untuk di playoff untuk lolos MSC. Jadi buat para Evos fans, thank you udah dukung kami mau dari bawah ataupun di atas. Dan jangan lupa datang ke playoffnya. Ya semoga kita masuk MSC rezeki dari Tuhan. Thank you.
Thank you. Inilah dia tiket keempat yang sudah di-secure oleh Evos Kelari. Caster, what happened? Evos going luar biasa.
Evos fans all around the world, they are celebrating and we can even feel that celebration back then. I think you guys saw it on the
Oh my
camera, those
God,
roars,
dude.
but Evos legends, not legends anymore. Evos glory, welcome to playoffs.
Oh my
The
god.
fourth team to officially advance to the playoffs phase.
Do you want one?
Sure. Oh, I'm sorry, Rebellion.
I know.
They'll still have their road to playoffs. Technically, they can still make it, and there's a possibility that if Rebellion win their next match against Geek Fam and RQ win their next match against Alter Ego, that there will be a two-way tie between Rebellion and RQ to make it to playoffs. But it does get tough for the Bulls here.
Oh, whoa.
2020.
Whoa.
This should be illegal,
Damn.
right? Dabbing in 2024.
Why?
That died in like 20. That died a long time ago. That trend.
When
of
you were
fluffing.
born?
Maybe, right? That's just how ancient that trend is. 2-3-9 though. He can do whatever he wants, technically.
Yeah.
You know what? Never mind. You can do whatever you want. You're the player of the match, the MVP. Mr. Floof. Nice TP percentage there for Mr. Fluffy. And for those of you who at home don't know what TP is, it's not teleports, not the recalls. TP percentage is team fight participation.
Team fight participation.
This guy, man, he's the unsung hero, definitely in game number 2. Because through that reverse sweep, yes, Annabelle stole the show, but he was the sacrificial lamb. He was the dude that gave all of his resources over to Annabelle for Annabelle to be that late game carry. He's selfless when necessary, and well, technically, he's just selfless. Usually we would say selfless when necessary, selfish when necessary too, but in both games, he was selfless. He was always doing the dirty work for the team. In game number 2, it was giving out resources and just engaging for the team. In game number 3, it was cutting the wave, preventing Cars from doing what he wants to do, from getting that forced error onto Evos Glory. And there's something about Fluffy and the screening gameplay he does with Terizla, because he did the same thing towards Aran last season, if you guys remember. That was the start of the loss streak for Aura with Aran after winning against Onyx and Bigatron. That's what we saw here. Cars on the Paquito, same pick that Aran went for against Fluffy, and same pick that Terizla against the Paquito to hold him off. The Queen's Wings build from him was really, really good, because he was actually ahead of the curve against RBL. RBL found out a bit late. They were like, you know what? We can actually engage on the Terizla and then portal towards the Lord. That's something they could do. They found out late, and there was already a contingency plan from Fluffy for that strategy. He had a Queen's Wings for a reason there, and he actually has Winter Truncheon as well towards the later stage of the game to survive even more. So even if he gets dove on, he can pop that Winter Truncheon. And that's where he actually used it there in the base while RBL were trying to get him down. And really, this is all the dirty work of Fluffy turning into a glorious, glorious win to Evos Glory. Shoutouts to the rest of the team though, because it was not... Stop dabbing, bro, please. It was not a solo effort. It was a team effort. Everyone played their part, especially Annabelle, Clawkun, and Fluffy. Those are the 3 standouts, definitely.
And Brands.
Brands as well.
And his portal play.
That's the thing about Brands, right? He can be Mr. Bombastic, doing things like that, but he can also be Mr. Fantastic. He can lose the games for the team, but he can also win the games for the team.
He's like
Duality
a
of
coin.
brands.
He's a coin. He's the duality of brands. Flip the coin. That's what you get today. Mr. Bombastic or Mr. Fantastic.
Ooh, and again, it's the longest duration today, especially in this series, right? 28 minutes, almost to the 30th minute mark. But what an attempt from the side of Rebellion Esports. They were proactive. They looked for trades, but at the end, it was just Fluffy baiting out most of the plays.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And stopping the plays from happening. That two-man
Nice, yeah.
gank, Farsa and Paquito up top. And then he just decided to go in like a Chad. He's like, yeah, let's fight. Let's keep on going. And then they continued to go on. Oh man, Rich Guy, let's take a look at who it is. The damage dealt for the carry here will be 100,000 to Mr. Claw.
Hey.
GPM. Why is it always 7?
Oh my
What's wrong with Evil's
God.
Glory and the number 7? 777 GPM in their game to make it a playoffs.
And it's 100,070.
Oh?
And 14 total assists divided by 2 is 7.
Okay, that's a bit forced right there, Eterna. That's
That's not.
nice try.
It's
nice.
not. It's not forced.
All
What
right, all right.
are you talking about?
Oh my lord. You're right. It's not forced. It's natural. Let's take a look at the... Whoa, damage taken. 517. 701. Whoa.
That's crazy.
Definitely not more 7s on the other side.
Nope.
No?
No 7s.
No.
What's it with them with 7s?
What's up with the golden moment by UBS Gold?
Kabar yang sorry. Aman. Nanti aman.
Nice.
Cabut.
Gue demo.
Nice.
Mereka langsung
Udah tele, nggak ada teleport. Timing kita atas bagus buat Lord. Dia nggak ada tele.
Bagusin bawah langsung gasin aja kita.
Iya, boleh. Ayo. Ayo, boleh.
Goskan tuh.
Nggak ada paku nih.
Dia tuh kena semua tuh. Boleh lo itu Amet. Ditribus dia. Banyakin lu.
Nice.
Gue liat gua.
Flicker si ini. Roger flicker. Taris dulu.
Ini
Bisa balik 1 poin nanti.
Balik.
OF-nya jelek itu.
Aman gue yang balik.
Oke, nice. Nice. Datanya WF tuh jelek banget, Cok. Langsung bawa lagi, ya.
Gue bisa depanin.
Ya, sama.
Flicker.
Aman.
Gulti.
Bolt itu kena banyak. Ya,
Target orang dulu aja. Lihat barat.
Gua dimakan.
Mati sama gua. Menang. Aman boy. Aman.
Nice. Alhamdulillah, guys.